for myself, trying to prove my existence. I wouldn't listen to nobody else. But then time caught up with my plans. And when the day broke, it exposed me for the fool that I really am. But you said, let me lead you, let me take you by the hand, yeah. So I can feed you from a good and precious land. All my eyes have seen, you're all I need, you're all I need, yeah. So now I'm learning to walk in your steps, and through the valley of confusion I've been losing my apprehension with death. But you said, let me lead you, let me take you by the hand, so I can feed you from a good and precious land. Now I owe it all to you, giving my heart to you, freedom becoming true. Nobody else like you, do what you promised to, and I'm so grateful for your love. And all my eyes have seen the wonders of your mystery received. I've tasted what it means. Now nothing else is good enough for me. You're all I need. You're all I need. You're all I need. You're all I need. Oh, I need you. Yeah, I need you. Oh, I need you now. Now I owe it all to you, giving my heart to you, freedom becoming true. Nobody else like you, do what you promised to, and I'm so grateful for you. I'm so grateful for your love. I'm so grateful. I'm so grateful. I need you in my life.
Wow, we're live. We are live. We're in the building. We're ready to go. It's been a while, but we're back. And we got a show for y'all tonight. Make sure you guys hit that like button, share this video while you're here. Drop a comment in, say hello. You're with us. We're live. It's Young Lion TV. Let's go.
Young lion, everywhere I look, they're dying. Everywhere I look, they're dying. Young lion, everywhere I look, they're dying. Everywhere I look, they're dying. Young lion, won't you get up and start fighting? Everywhere I look, they're hiding. Young lion.
That's right. Young Lion TV is live Monday night. And, we had the holiday last week and everybody was kind of busy before that. So we had a couple weeks off, man. But we're back, ready to do the podcast, ready to talk about what's been going on. It's, nonstop things happening in the world, happening in life. Of course, just trying to keep everything going. But we're glad you guys are with us. Make sure you guys jump in that chat, say hello, hit that like button, share this video with your friends, and get that algorithm going because, it doesn't work on its own for us for some reason. So we need y'all help. And don't forget, this is a podcast where we talk about things that are important to us, things that we care about, and a lot of the lessons that we've learned along the way. So if you want to support that, we do have a Patreon, which we are appreciative of every Patreon member because without you, we would not be able to continue to do this. So appreciate the Patreon members. But the link is in the description for that. And there's a Cash App link if you want to just donate to the cause. And also a link to our merch that is available there as well. But without further ado, on the Young Lion TV podcast, I got my brothers with me. I got the coolest Asian in the podcast gang, Mr. Simone Chang, in the building.
What up? I'm just laughing at mom, just hearting a million hearts. Thank you.
There we need somebody. Somebody got to do it.
Shit.
Somebody's
It
got
was
to
like
do
30 seconds, the whole intro. Heart, care.
Somebody's got to do it, right, Mom? Yeah. If she won't do it, no one will. But yeah, we got my big brother back in the building. He's back, busy with so much soccer, but he's in here tonight. Did you have practice tonight? No. Okay. Is everything over now? Is the tournaments and everything?
No.
Okay.
I mean, we got for my teams. Yeah, we just have one more practice, but Lucas still has a few tournaments.
Okay, well, he's back here. He's the preacher, teacher, people reacher, Mr. Jacob Eugene Evans III in the building. And of course, we got the most bass boomer over here holding down the production. And we had some funny clips with Mom over the last few weeks. Just talking about childhood, talking about everything.
I had such a good time that last time.
I know, we had fun on that stream.
I did have to say.
Yeah, but she's our mom. We love her. Miss Angelique Lopez is in the building.
The baddest boomer.
The baddest. Bass.
The baddie
Boomer.
boomer.
And I am the one trying to navigate through all these clips and topics and trying to keep the ball rolling while also trying to entertain the folks. And I look like somebody that you probably think you've seen before or know before. My name is Jamie Evans. And yeah, we are the Young Lions, a.k.a. Jatan, a.k.a. brothers, friends, fathers, husbands, sons, and just always trying to continue to be better, trying to grow as men and learn from each other and talk about hard topics, interesting topics, and things that matter, that we believe matter, and things that we wish we could have had something to refer to when we were younger, I'm sure, to, just bounce ideas off of. When we were younger, there wasn't really much to go off of. Culture around manhood was very toxic back then. I think that's where the term toxic masculinity comes from, even though we don't agree with that sentiment. But yeah, I think there was a culture of that going on when we were younger that kind of came to a culmination and came to a head. You see it like changing now. People are starting to, even though like it rears its head in different ways. You have the Andrew Tate version, you have the red pills, you have the incels, you have all of these different little factions that try to make sense of like something's not right here, something needs to be fixed. And then you have like the men who are just anti-women now,
Yeah.
But we're trying to come at it from the angle of our faith in Jesus and knowing that that's the only way to actually learn to be a man properly and
To get balance.
to have balance. Yes. And, build community properly.
Yeah.
Because when you look at it, every other type of community does not work. It doesn't last.
Yeah. I mean, yeah, it's always
Superficial.
things swing from one side to the other.
Mm-hmm.
And you really can't see. It's hard. That's why I said balance, half jokingly, but you really can't get that balance because you're always like, well, I don't want to be like my parents.
Yeah.
I don't want to be like them,
So you pendulum the entire opposite way. which is really like, okay.
As soon as
Why you
said
laughing?
that, Simone looked at me and started smiling.
You were staring
I'm
at me
telling you,
to
no.
wait. She
I
was
know.
waiting.
I
She was
know.
waiting for me
For you to say
know.
something
to look
smart.
up.
It's
See, he did
this is
though.
gonna be our rhetoric, like between them two.
Yeah, there's always.
So as soon as he said parents, he looked at me.
Yo, it reminds me of John a little bit.
Yeah.
He's always
John
looking
John
for me
always
to
thinks you're-
react to
yeah.
something.
Because we know you. Yeah.
Why were you expecting him to? What did he have? What did
No,
we
as
were
soon as
talking
he
about
said
being
as
parents?
soon as
Because
he
he
said parents.
he said, yeah, he said, waiting for us to be like our parents or something.
Right, and then
and then
I knew it. He was like,
No, I said people
that's-
people say they don't want to be like their
right,
parents.
but as soon
Yeah.
as you said that, he went,
Yeah.
Did you do that?
yes.
no, I didn't.
Yeah,
I
Simone.
She said you went. Is that what you did? That
Yeah.
Nope.
Yes, he did.
Nope.
With a
I think I
smirk.
would have recognized that.
I
With
saw
a-
I
You're
saw
sitting right
her. I
across-
saw
With
her
a
wait.
smirk on his
She's
face.
just as soon as I look up, she's like,
No, you were looking at it.
Speaking of parents, we were talking about something earlier from my childhood that I just randomly remembered. But I'm not going to bring it up.
she said,
Because
please.
she's
Oh no.
Oh, that's not.
But I want to know. Not now.
Not now.
We can
Yo,
Tell me
it
later.
is hilarious.
Yeah.
It is a
But not
very
now.
mom hilarious. It's not even that bad.
It is bad.
It's not that bad.
Jamie.
Okay.
It's
it
not.
is.
It's just.
All right, well,
I'm not gonna
we
bring it
won't
up
talk
on
about
here.
it.
Do it later.
I'm not gonna bring it up on here. I'll tell y'all later.
You can tell him later. I don't care.
Yeah, but June 1st, guys. You know what that means.
What's that mean? Summer?
Come on, guys.
Juneteenth is coming.
What?
You know what that means.
Oh.
All of the rainbows come
Yes,
out.
yeah.
dude, I was.
All of the
I saw
rainbows.
it. Yeah, I saw it
All
today.
of the pandering, the corporate
Oh my
pandering.
Especially
gosh.
Israel.
Yeah,
The
I have.
worst.
Yeah, I was gonna bring that up. I was gonna show that.
Gosh.
But the first one I want to show is I want to see, how my brother feels about this one. Let me see, where are we at here? Ooh, the NFL.
Oh, you know they pander.
Yeah, of course, but there's only 11 teams that did not post Pride Month logo so far.
Oh.
The Cowboys,
Okay.
the Rams, the Saints.
The Rams?
They have the Giants on this list, but I saw the Giants post one, so this list must be old already. No, the Eagles definitely. Yep. Bing.
They post.
Bing.
What?
Happy Pride Month.
They got a gay block in Philadelphia, bro.
They do have the neighborhood. They do have the
the
neighborhood.
neighborhood.
They gotta pander
You know.
to the crowd. Yeah, it's that time where it all comes out. I did see that.
I just like the football part.
You just like the football part.
Speaking of the Giants, though, I got mad respect for Jackson Dart, their new quarterback.
I was
now.
gonna go to that next. We'll
That
speak
young
on that
kid.
next. We'll speak on that next because we're going right from that to this, right from this to that. But yeah, this was Target. What do you see missing from their June 1st promotion?
Nothing gay.
No rainbows, no nothing.
No
I
tuck.
see
No tuck.
Look, I see a nice white American
That's
family.
a wholesome family.
That's a nice little blonde
The
hair
dad is there. The mom is there with the kids.
with the little blondies, and they're wearing like traditional. It looks like 4th of July.
Yeah,
theme.
that's
America.
another thing that's going on right now.
the
And proud to
250th
be
year
in America.
of America. 250.
250. It's supposed to be like this big celebration thing, and I know you heard about that, about all the acts that are backing out
of the
because they're getting
death threats.
Brett Michaels and his
Michaels,
crew.
They said they're getting threats from the left.
Yeah.
I don't know how true that is. That's the.
I saw a video the other day where a guy was walking his dog and people had like American flags, like little American flags. And
Uh-huh.
he was kicking them over.
What?
What, are
Yeah.
you kidding me?
Yeah.
What?
It's crazy, man. Like the people are
I'm about to hang a flag on my house, actually.
that like appalled by the American
By
flag.
the flag of your own country?
It just doesn't even make sense.
No, go somewhere else.
Oh, is this it here?
Yep.
Oh, wow.
Gosh.
And he missed.
He did miss.
But then he does it again.
Why he walk like that though?
Because he's
I lift.
a gym bro.
I lift, man. Oh yeah. Are they American flags? They don't look like American flags.
No, the first one was.
First one was.
That's an American flag.
Okay, yeah. You sure?
I'm positive.
You sure
Can't
that's
tell,
not
man. That could have been the Israel flag. You don't know.
Palestine?
Definitely an American
It's
flag.
hard to tell from the.
How can you not? There's a blue.
I don't see.
How you see
I
blue?
don't see blue, bro.
I see it in the corner.
Wow.
How don't
Maybe.
y'all see that?
Okay, yeah, it is.
Yeah. I see it.
That angle.
see
you
the
could
way-
do
So
it.
watch
Yeah,
him. Watch
it's-
him miss.
Mm,
Oh, he hits it, but
He
it doesn't
hit it,
come
but
out
it's
the
a
ground.
flag. Like you're that mad at the American
Exactly.
flag? Like that's
you can't
crazy,
control
bro.
yourself. You can't be an adult.
That's wild. That's wild.
The question is, why is he in America? Get out. Go somewhere.
pushing on, Mom?
Oh,
Are you pressing something?
I don't press anything.
Yeah.
Did y'all hear that?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, what's that?
Sound like you were holding something down on the keyboard and it was pushing.
No, I'm just saying, that's so ignorant to be kicking the flag and you're in America.
Yep. It is ignorant. But speaking of not in America, this is what Mom was talking about. The Israel Twitter handle posted this today. Pride rises at the lowest place on earth this June. The Dead Sea becomes Pride Land, the biggest LGBTQ plus festival in the Middle East. 4 days of nonstop celebration, community, and connection. Israel celebrates its.
You know what's crazy? Can y'all think of the irony?
Yeah.
What's the irony?
The irony is that in their law
No.
What?
There's an irony that's connected to the Bible in Genesis. Let me get around Abraham's time.
What?
Sodom and Gomorrah.
Oh, right.
okay.
Yeah, obviously.
Yeah.
The Dead Sea.
Yeah,
it's
yeah.
literally dead because that's probably the site around there. Like they found the sulfur balls and everything around that site where it's probably Sodom and Gomorrah.
That's what
made it
so heavy.
Yeah.
Full of salt.
So dead.
Yeah.
So it's just funny.
That
It's
is funny.
ironic that it would be in that area.
Yeah.
And they're bringing it back. The largest festival. That's crazy, man.
Mm-hmm.
Here's you would expect this.
Kamala? Is that Kamala?
It's Kamala. She loves the gays. Yeah, she's sporting her support, of course. But yeah, that's what we're dealing with. And there was a funny clip that someone posted from In Living Color back in the 90s. And when you watch
Hated it. I'm
no,
sure.
it's not.
No,
it's
it
a Jim
wasn't?
Carrey skit, and it's actually very funny because it's like it kind of touches on the way people act, or like it touches on. It's funny. Hold on, let me just bring the audio up.
I know, I was just thinking, why did it have to be in the month that I was born? Pride Month. Gosh.
That's what happens. Oh crap! Can you hand me the cable for the audio thing? Right there, the white one.
Listen, I forget every year. Until you remind. I feel like this happened last year too. You said the same thing.
Yeah, did we
I was like,
stream
what
on June 1st?
what is-
We
what
might
is it?
have.
Yeah,
What is it?
yeah.
Yeah, that
I'm
was
like, oh yeah.
like, you know what it is today, guys? No. Yeah. Okay. Where did it go? Oh, here it is. Okay.
For you, sir.
Well,
Oh, I remember this skit.
sexually, nothing. You see, you're a woman and I, being gay, am attracted only to men.
Are you gonna order something?
Oh, I get it. The fruitcake is holding up the line.
No, it's not that, sir. I just have to get my...
No biggie. You're just frightened of something you don't understand. Now, let's see. I think the combo meal would satisfy a homosexual's taste buds. And I'm a homosexual, so I'll have that.
What combo meal for the homosexual man?
This is great. Attention, please. Attention. I am gay. Repeat, I am very gay. Just go about your business normally, as heterosexuals.
Okay, sir, that'll be $5.67, please.
Wow. It's a good thing gay men work.
$5 though.
Thank you
Yeah.
on behalf of all homosexuals.
Yeah, it's just funny because it's like
It's the truth.
it's like you just gotta make you gotta make it all about that. Like nobody cares, bro.
Yeah.
Like, yeah. But it's funny when you see how that's escalated even further, especially with the parades and everything. And speaking of the parades, every Pride Month,
Please don't show nothing nasty.
every Pride Month, I just gotta remind people that
Whatever you want.
there was a company.
Oh no.
There was a company that existed.
Oh no, I don't. Oh, that's
That
not-
existed. They went out of business.
Did they?
Who knows why? Postmates, yeah. Maybe they got swallowed up by I was gonna say Grubhub and DoorDash. But we when we first saw this video, I think it was back in like 2022, we couldn't believe it. And I've been showing it every year just to remind everyone.
Like we need reminding.
What we're doing here.
Like we need reminding.
Yeah. we
So
don't-
let's check it out. Here we go. This was a Postmates advertisement about celebrating Pride Month.
What are you eating this Pride? Well, if you're a top, it seems like you can eat whatever you want. But if you're a bottom, you're expected to starve? Not this Pride. Introducing the bottom-friendly menu from Postmates. We teamed up with Dr. Evan Goldstein from Bespoke Surgical to bring you a menu of bottom-friendly foods backed by science. Insoluble fiber won't help you feel cute, so avoid
All right,
things
Jamie,
like
I
whole grains,
can't,
wheat
man.
bran,
I think
cauliflower, potatoes.
Can we not watch this?
No, we have to.
Are you just fully
It is
diving into those
important to go through this.
The problem with these foods is they don't dissolve in water, which could cause a traffic jam in your digestive system, making
Traffic
a mess
jam.
of your evening.
Making a mess of your
Speaking
evening.
of messy, it's a good idea to avoid dairy.
Like they're just the fact that they're talking about this as if this is just
If
normal.
you're going to eat something insoluble, give your body about 24 hours to process all of it.
All the imagery
And
with
the imagery
the
is like
peaches
is
and the booty
Insoluble
made
fibers
is
and
made
protein are the key
like
to having some
for
good,
kids
clean
almost.
fun. These all digest easily and slowly while feeding your good gut bacteria, which makes sushi a great
It looked like it's
bottom-friendly option.
something fun and something cute.
There's no
but
right or wrong way to
we're
bottom.
really talking about.
But if you're planning
real
on getting
stuff.
peachy this Pride, the bottom-friendly menu on Postmates has the kinds of foods that can keep you feeling good.
Are you organic?
Yeah, basically you don't want to make a mess of things on when you're out there celebrating.
If I would
so.
have watched that by myself, I wouldn't understand it.
You
That's how ignorant I am with that. Like I didn't even. I unless you brought it up and explained it.
I mean,
I
if our
wouldn't-
kids saw it, they wouldn't.
Yeah,
understand.
they wouldn't.
Exactly.
Yeah. The reason why I always show that is because it is to me, the perfect example of something that is being portrayed as like light and airy and normal. And it's like literally the opposite. It's literally the most crazy, weird, and disgusting thing.
Yeah.
But like to me, that juxtaposition, there's nothing like that signifies that bad.
And they can put a commercial like that, but you can't put a commercial about Jesus or about no way. It's
Well, I don't know if that aired on TV, but that was
why?
definitely
It didn't
on.
air on TV, or I thought it did.
I mean, I don't know. I just
I don't
remember
watch
seeing it on
TV.
social media. Yeah,
I don't either.
I don't watch TV either.
Yeah, hardly
It's
ever.
it's interesting that we're so prideful. Play on Pride Month.
Mm-hmm.
That we think things are okay, and we let it in. Excuse me. I don't. That's not a pun. We let things in,
Oh Lord.
and we think it's not going to do damage in the long run.
Yeah.
And then when it does, then you're like trying to blame somebody else. But it's your fault. And that's why boundaries are so important. And I was talking to you about this earlier, remember? So I was talking to somebody else about like stuff that had happened in their life.
Mm-hmm.
And they were like so upset. And I'm like, but you do got to see that how you wouldn't be there if you didn't. If you had put boundaries in earlier.
Mm-hmm.
But people think that like, oh, nothing wrong with that. Oh, nothing wrong with that. And then they get mad if you say something.
Yeah.
Because to them, they think, I don't see it. So therefore, if I don't see it, then there's nothing wrong with that. But then when they have kids and they, there's more to it. Like they have to be more responsible. They have people they love. Like now they're starting to see things in a different way. And that's the main, like, wait a minute. And I'm talking about something different, but I'm saying for this, wait a minute. Why are they trying to put books in our kids' school, elementary schools that are talking about sex?
Yeah.
Like, and show pictures of it. Like, what is going on here?
Yeah.
Why are they doing all these things? Like,
Right.
then you realize, oh, maybe this is a problem, right? For the normal person. Oh, let people be people. Let them do what they want. Yeah, to a certain extent. But this is what happens. They're not going to stop,
Right.
And then you realize, like, these things have consequences. And it's sad. Like, even this, like, you think about it, they're telling you something that's a problem. Like, that video is a problem for doing something that you shouldn't be doing.
Yeah.
And that's why it's a problem, right?
Yeah.
That you're trying to tell somebody what to eat.
Right.
And not only that, it has long-lasting effects.
Yeah.
Later on down the line, it's going to cause you
not
issues
natural.
too. Because
So-
it's...
Even more than just even those effects. Like, I don't know if you guys have seen, I don't see them as much anymore, maybe because I don't watch TV, but there used to be those PrEP commercials all the time. That medication
Yeah.
that they take for like HIV and AIDS and all of that. And like you're taking this medication so that you can go out and do whatever you want and not have to worry about, the consequences.
Yeah.
But if you ever saw those commercials, they're only marketing them to one community of people.
Yeah.
And
I saw that marketing actually. Remember I told you guys when I went to go see The Lion King, it was on the back.
oh yeah,
PrEP.
yes.
Why?
Because that
Because
community
that
is
commu-
very much involved in those activities. But like to Jake's point, like why is there a whole industry now built up around trying to prevent something that the body's telling you, oh, we clearly shouldn't be doing this.
Yeah.
It's like, that's why condoms exist. That's why all these things exist, because you're trying to create these measures to allow you to do whatever you want.
Right.
So now there's industries that pop up around, like not having to face the consequences of doing the things that you shouldn't be doing.
Yeah.
And it's not even like, it's funny because you're like, when you're saying that, I just stuck out to prevent, but it's not even preventative really.
Yeah.
Like really it's not preventative as a whole. It's just preventative for one thing. But as you do this activity, it's not preventative. It's
Right.
not going to protect you from everything.
Right.
Right. It's not going to protect you in the right way. It's not going to protect just your body. Right.
Yeah.
So it's not preventative, but you call it that, right? And it's just such a perversion of how we use words. Because real preventative medicine is going to deal with the whole thing, right? And a lot of times, like the stuff, that's what's crazy. Like the stuff that is actually preventative, it's like a lot of times it's all encompassing, right? You put up preventative measures for certain things, and it's going to keep out a lot, right? That would get in. So, but when you don't and you call it that, it's such a farce.
Right. Yeah. Speaking of a farce, so we were talking about the NFL and their pandering already on June 1st, but then there was a little scandal around the New York Giants. You alluded to it a little bit earlier. The quarterback is got everyone in an uproar because he decided to go to a rally that has nothing to do with sports or the NFL and to introduce Trump and bring out Trump. Let's play that.
He was
video.
asked to do it.
He was
and
asked to do it,
and he
yeah.
felt honored, and he did it.
But decided to do it. Right.
Yeah.
What's up, what's up, what's up? Yeah. Big Blue Nation, it's a pleasure to be here. I gotta start this off with a Go Big Blue. I'd love it if y'all would follow with me. Go Big Blue, go Big Blue, go Big Blue, go Big Blue. What an
First of
honor,
all, I didn't know
what
that was a
privilege
chant.
it is to be
No,
here.
he's there.
That was whack.
And without further ado,
I never even
I'm
knew that was
grateful,
their
I'm
nickname.
honored, I'm pleasured to introduce the 45th and 47th President of the United States of America, President Donald J. Trump.
And I'm proud to be an American, where at least I know I'm free.
So literally, that's all it is.
That's
And people went nuts.
Yep.
I was wondering how some of our
did The
friends
View
that
go
are,
nuts?
Oh, absolutely! I
course.
have that clip. I have
Of
that.
course.
Oh my gosh.
I was wondering how some of our friends that are like that hate Trump but are Giants fans, how they feel about this.
You know, I texted Nada.
Yeah.
They laughed at me. I was like, I like your quarterback now. He doesn't care. He doesn't care what they think.
Yeah. What did he say?
He just laughed.
Oh, okay.
He
I
does.
I was wondering how Phil thought about it.
Oh, yeah. He probably hated it.
Yeah, he's probably so mad. But let's check out The View. Let's see their reaction to this. Anyone want to take any bets on what they said about him?
He's racist. He's white supremacist.
Ah.
I actually haven't seen it, but
Yeah, I feel like you have. I feel
stupid.
like you sound like you have watched it.
For a certain community, the
uneducated.
black community, for me, if this feels personal.
You may have seen this video. Trump a couple days ago was in New York giving one of his speeches. He's getting back out on the stump, and I think he's feeling quite good right now. We'll have a bit more on what his.
Hey, Trump.
However,
that is
I can't stand the ladies of The View.
Yeah.
percent to 60% the NFL is that many people, that much percentage of black people, blacker. That is just the definition of stupidity and racist.
no.
Exactly what you said. He's stupid and he's racist.
Oh my gosh.
Let's go. I don't want to hear Dave's commentary. I thought this was just a straight clip of them.
Sure, doing your offensive line to protect you. But the thing is, this was a choice, and it was a political one. And, we're just not in normal times anymore. For a certain community, the black community, for me, if this feels personal. And I think if you are someone who attacks the community to which I belong, and you support that, that tells me two things. Either one, you agree with his politics and you agree with his biases, or you can be adjacent to it, stomach it, and that means you are complicit in my view.
Yeah.
Yeah, you're.
Yeah, you're complicit. You're racist. All the things. That's what he is for bringing out the president of the United States at something that wasn't a part of, like, because people were giving commentary comparing it to when they told LeBron to shut up and dribble. Like other athletes have, come out and got backlash for saying political things. But these are people that are bringing that, like they were bringing up Colin Kaepernick. You're doing that during the game. You're doing that, putting it in people's face that don't want to hear about your politics when they're watching the sport. There's a difference between that and something totally outside of that, where you're just introducing someone at a rally.
Right.
How many athletes went to Kamala rallies or introduced Kamala or, showed their support for that, and nobody cared.
Nobody said anything.
Nobody says anything. There's no backlash.
But you're not looking at it right, Jamie.
Okay.
Because
How am I?
they look at Trump as evil man.
He's Hitler.
Evil man orange. They look at him. Yeah, they look at him. They've been doing this. So it's, and obviously, they're like, no, it's already, it's like Jeffrey Dahmer.
Oh, gosh.
No, it's like Jeffrey Dahmer has already been proven guilty. And,
Okay.
You know what I mean? Like, now think about this. Like, Jeffrey Dahmer actually became a Christian, right? And he gave his life to Jesus. But how many people will be like, he's still, they'll make excuses, whatever.
They can't accept.
They won't
that
even.
He's been forgiven.
Won't even think about like, how could he? They wouldn't think. They're like, it's hard for people to,
especially
to
because he killed
that.
mostly black people.
Right.
That's like a lot of people. Would be hard for them to accept.
But that's Jeffrey Dahmer. But let's talk. But Trump.
Yeah.
What? But they make him like
he posted a picture of the Obamas as monkeys. Okay.
Yeah. Exactly.
And he's a 39 count.
34
count felon.
Yes. Convicted rapist.
And a rapist. He's a rapist.
So everything.
Which, did you hear about that case?
Yes.
How that's all.
And he
out?
grabbed women by the.
That she was funded by some big Democratic donor to say all the things that she said. Now we're finding out.
Mm-hmm. So they've already condemned him because they want to condemn him.
Mm-hmm.
They want to make him look bad. They want to say all these things about him. Granted, are any of us gonna be squeaky clean? No.
But no. Jamie just revealed, some things to my wife.
Did I reveal something crazy?
Just more women that she's like, babe.
Oh, we were talking about KFC. Yeah. No, we were talking with Stan about we were talking about Stan's relationship with Alpa back in the day. I was bringing up one of my memories with Stan and Alpa and him and some girl.
Yeah, you bringing stuff up in front of people.
Yeah.
And you have no clue you're doing it.
No, I knew I was
No, he
doing
knew.
it.
He knew.
I didn't think it was a big deal.
That's why
she knew I wasn't squeaky clean.
Yeah. And what I said
she's attracted.
I said you wanted to marry a handsome man. You're attracted to him. You don't think other women were attracted to him?
But yeah, like there's no. It's just judgment.
Yeah.
And it's sad.
Yeah.
But we know we know, like The View. You know what it is.
Yeah. I mean, they're literally.
I'm just saying it's sad because people just feed in.
They take them serious.
They just feed in.
And it's funny because I have a family member that I really don't know, but we found out we're family, so we became friends on Facebook.
Mm-hmm.
Wow, did he put up such horrific things about Trump?
Mm-hmm.
Horrific. So all I said to him was, listen, I didn't care for Obama either. As a Christian, I would never have put up stuff like that, because he's a Christian.
Mm-hmm.
So he saw my thing, so he posted something even worse. So I just took him off as a friend. I unfriended him because I said, what is the purpose of looking at all that? I don't want to look at it.
Yeah, I don't spend any time looking at people's posts on social media. It's not worth it. But speaking of posts on social media, did you hear about the rookie that got drafted that had something to say about Jackson Dart's post that was causing part of the controversy?
The Giants?
Yeah.
It was like a team thing.
Yeah. What's his name? Abdul Carter.
Yeah.
So he was the one. He tweeted out something that was like, "I thought this was AI." Like
yeah.
He was like, what the F is this? And a lot of people came out and said that he was wrong for that.
Yeah,
because that's your teammate. That's actually the leader of your team. You just got drafted.
Yeah.
Wow. And you're causing division in the locker room now. Actually, Cam Newton said he was wrong for that.
Yeah. There was a lot of people. Tiki Barber, who's an ex, he does like commentating or whatever like that.
They all do now.
But isn't that crazy how much division is causing just because somebody's saying something?
I don't like
just because somebody came like he didn't even say I voted for Trump. He didn't even say any of that. He just said,
"Yeah,
this is our president."
Well, it's clear that he probably leans that way if he's introducing.
It's not really clear just from that, but I guess just because you would decide to do that, I guess they were looking at it like, because I heard people comparing him to Jalen Hurts now, saying like Hurts didn't want to go to the White House when they won the Super Bowl, But let's listen to Cam Newton's what Cam had to say.
I don't like the fact that Abdul Carter went to the internet to voice his opinion. I'm not saying that I support Jackson Dart. What I'm saying is those are private conversations that need to be had, and it's just
so goofy.
That's what adults should do. Is it safe to say that Abdul Carter feels a certain type of way? Yes. Amongst other players, yes. But man, hit his jack. Hey, bro. Hey, I ain't gonna lie, dog. I feel a certain type of way. Let's talk about it. I understand where I'm coming from.
Yeah, that was him.
How many people have that type of mentality?
Nowadays, especially not. But I think when it comes to teams, like that's supposed to be something that you don't do. You know, like the players that do that are always like kind of viewed as a nuisance. The ones that will go to social media and cause turmoil amongst the team.
One is gone now.
Yeah, like one we got rid of.
But that's different than like what he's. I'm just saying like. It's different than like going to somebody. Like they're not always doing that.
I think they do. Like if they have an issue with somebody, like they talk to them directly. Yeah, like at least text.
But what happens if you say, "All right, I feel you, but this is how I feel"? Like
I mean, we've heard those stories. The coaches sometimes got to get involved. Like they got to squash things. They got there's money on the line. So
yeah.
People figure out ways to get past it.
Again, we were talking about the boundaries things earlier. It's great. Like in this day and age, on the left, if you say you got boundaries, you're judged for having boundaries. You're like, if you don't agree with something, then so you don't like me. Mm-hmm. Oh, because you did that, you don't like me.
Right.
That's not what that means. Like
because you think that you don't like me.
Yeah, you don't like me because I'm gay. Like no, that's not what I'm saying. I'm not accepting this.
Right.
In my house, I love you. I love you from afar, but you're not gonna bring your boyfriend in here and kiss your boyfriend. This is you're not gonna do that in my house. I'm sorry. Like, but I'm gonna love you from afar. Like I love you anyway.
Yeah.
You know,
we don't have bottom friendly menus in my house.
But that doesn't equate to like I don't
pepper sauce around here.
Yeah, it's lots of pepper sauce, fermented things going on in this.
See, y'all taking it too far, man.
Yes.
Y'all taking it too far.
Why is that taking it too far?
It is.
Oh boy.
But the point is, you take that and then you make it, you hate me.
Yeah.
And that's not, those things don't correlate.
Right. But that's what they have to do to turn it into, to put you in submission.
But, that's my point, is that that's been the rhetoric and that's been the programming. So then you have like, this guy just went and announced Trump and now you got, like, this is crazy.
He's a racist and he's hateful.
It's crazy.
He hates black people,
And now you're, so you hate me.
Yeah.
Wait, what?
But the crazy thing is listening to even Joy say like, well, the NFL is like 60% black. Does that mean all of those people hate Trump? Does that mean like every single one of them people agree with you?
She didn't just say that.
They all think the same.
Yeah.
But then she went and said, so you're stupid for saying, so you're not even thinking.
Yeah.
No, you're not you're not critically thinking.
Yeah.
And that's crazy. And if let's say, okay, 60% black, right?
Mm-hmm.
And let's say out of 60% of those blacks, 80% are against Trump.
Yeah.
That's a problem. Why?
Yeah.
That's a problem.
No other demographic moves like that.
No. That would be a problem if it's like that.
Yeah.
So these are things you got to deal with. It's not just like, oh, it's this way, so you need to.
Right.
You're stupid for thinking this way. Wait, what are we doing?
I showed a clip of Boomer trashing, criticizing Abdul, I'll say.
This was a real error on the part of Abdul Carter, not on the part of Jackson Dart. Jackson Dart was asked to do something to introduce the president of the United States. How many people get an opportunity to do something like that, regardless of who the president is? You may have hated Barack Obama. You may have hated Joe Biden. And some guys didn't want to go to the White House because they didn't like those presidents, just like other guys didn't want to go to the White House because they didn't like President Trump. But to put this out like a child, on social media is
I mean,
is
that's what he
ridiculous.
is.
And
He
then
just
when I
got
heard,
drafted.
we spoke
Yeah,
man to
he's
man.
young.
Yeah,
How
there was only
stupid
one
were we
man
when
on
we
that
were,
call,
what,
and that was
21,
Jackson Dart.
22?
You were a man who
You're
was
not
late to
proud.
meetings.
You're
You
a
were a
man.
man.
You're a grown man, but you
If he just got drafted, he's what, 21, 22?
yeah.
You know?
Yeah,
Yeah.
but again, I think it's a problem. I don't think that's an excuse. I think people aren't prepared for life. I think they're like, dude, I see culture. Like, I don't know. I can't speak too much on football, but just being a soccer coach, seeing how these coaches act. You come into some of the games that you came to, like over the weekend. Like, the culture is horrible. They're not teaching these kids. They only care about winning. They're only trying to push kids. So they're not thinking about their future in a developmental, being a man way. And I'm not saying everybody, but I'm just saying the majority. So then they should be like 17, 18, and they're on point. They should be.
Yeah.
But they're not.
Yeah.
That's my only, like, they should be ready to talk about these things. And because there's 14-year-olds, 15-year-olds that are able to talk about this stuff a lot better than these 21-year-olds.
That's true. But that focus is not put on that, unfortunately. Let's play the rest of this.
That was Jackson Dart. You were a man who was late to meetings. You were a man who didn't live up to your draft choice. You're a man who wanted to wear number 56. And by the way, your idol, number 56, has introduced Donald Trump numerous times. So I don't want to hear this. So he made another
That was a great point
just
right there.
boneheaded error by going to social.
Because he loved Lawrence Taylor. He wanted to wear his number, but his number's been retired. Lawrence Taylor is a Trump fan.
Yeah.
Yeah. What does he think about him?
Apparently, he still loves him because he wanted to wear his number. So
He probably didn't know.
he probably didn't.
No, I think, dude, to be honest with you, I think Lawrence Taylor's black. This
So
guy's
he-
white.
right.
So it's a little,
Lawrence Taylor can't be racist.
automatically you're looking at it like that.
Yeah. A lot of people were posting different memes. Abdul Carter assaulted a tow truck driver, breaking his rib. Jackson Dart introduced the president of the United States. But one is scum of the earth and the other one is fine. What was the other one I saw? Which one was it? This one here. Jackson Dart introduced President Trump. Josh Jacobs, domestic violence, strangulation, criminal damage, disorderly conduct, intimidation of a victim. Yeah, like how many athletes do we know that they still praise to this day that have been involved in some horrific stuff?
Yeah. Lots and lots.
But a guy who just went to a thing and introduced the president.
A thing. You sound like Ilhan Omar.
He went to a thing and introduced a guy. But this is what I'm trying to show, that it's like
It objectively doesn't make sense.
Yeah, compared to actual criminal behavior. A guy who went to a thing and introduced a guy.
That just shows, how people are. They want to hold something, if it meets up or their feelings are, involved in that, they're going to prop that one up and just forget about,
Well, I just never
the
seen
other thing.
anything like this in my life. How they hate Trump that much.
This is the word. Well, I mean, again, it's because we've talked about Trump derangement syndrome. We've talked about the job that the media has done. We've talked about, the fact that Trump was an outsider, him coming into a political establishment that did not expect him to win, and then had to throw the kitchen sink at him in his first term to stop him from doing anything he wanted to get done, because all these people have plans in place. They're all working together, Democrats and Republicans, to push these agendas that line the pockets of their donors, keep the country moving into...
Sell out their constituents.
Yeah, and keep this country moving into the global economic order that it was headed towards. This was the plan. Trump came along as this huge wild card that they took as a joke at first, but then when he won, it was like, okay, we got to do something about this. You remember the text messages about insurance policy and all that stuff? And, I mean, there's a lot of things that he's doing now that are kind of like a little bit it seems like he's kind of playing that game a little bit more that I would expect other presidents to play. But, I just knowing this is why, trying to explain why they went so hard is to get people to hate him, call him Hitler. Like they had to go so above and beyond is because they were desperately trying to stop this guy from doing the things that he claimed he was going to do with building the wall, stopping immigration. Immigration was a huge part of their plan. Him putting a stop to that, Democrats and Republicans were going to campaign on that until the end of time and never do anything about it. Abortion, him getting that Roe v. Wade overturned. Like no one was ever going to do anything about that.
It's because that's what they talk about during an election.
Yeah.
That's what they
run on. That's what they raise funds on. That's what they get.
It's like
donors.
the homeless thing, bro.
Yeah.
They don't want things fixed.
Yeah.
They wanted to continue, act like they're fixing it. Give us more money, budget. This is what we're gonna do. Not fix it.
That race in California is starting to turn towards Spencer Pratt.
Yo, his ads are.
Did you see the Fresh Prince one?
Yeah, he's clever, yo.
Yeah, he is. He definitely. I mean, he comes from that world. He comes from Hollywood. He comes from knowing how to move in that space. So it's interesting. But did you see that? You're talking about the homeless problem. I was going to show Jameis Winston was trashing. I know that's your guy. He was trashing Jackson Dart too.
Was he?
Yeah. Hold on, let me see.
I think he's funny.
I'm proud of Jackson and Abdul for having this conversation, getting in front of y'all and speaking what they will love. I'm proud of our team for understanding that, like, we don't have to pick a side in this. We have to understand, we have to have support for other people's, our team, like what they stand for. I'm not going to say, oh, man, you wrong. Why would you do that? I'm going to say, okay, that's probably not what I believe. But I love you as I love myself, right? So I'm gonna give you some grace, all right? And I'm gonna help you. I'm gonna show you, hey, look, man, this is what happened. All right? This is how you handle this. All right? This is what teamwork looks like. All right? But being proud of my teammates, being separated by the mass media and hearing the opinions of people that don't have nothing to do with this building, but just looking at a reason to point fingers at a blonde-haired, blue-eyed white boy and a black Muslim. That is what's happening to the world, right? And they poke and pry at these young men. I know I do say, like, we men. Yeah. But how many people in this group has never made a mistake? How many people in this group has never said something or did something that they wish they didn't do? I don't know. I don't know how many people in the world can say that they didn't say or do something that they would take back. Now, I'm a person, I don't have many regrets. But I do have moments of education where I have to learn about the platform that I have, right? And the actions and the decisions that I make and who that impacts. Right, and I think this is excellent.
Okay, I was completely wrong. He didn't. I don't know why I saw.
I was gonna say that it don't seem like his
I don't
character.
know why I saw something where they were talking. I saw an article or something talking about like maybe someone was trying to spin it that way, and I'd never watched the video. That's my first time watching it.
Jameis's character, it doesn't seem like. First of all, he's always trying to get people. This is his paint a picture. He's always trying to get people to do Bible study.
Yeah,
that's why I started liking him because he's like, all right, but throw this football. If I hit the goalpost, everybody's going to Bible study, and he hits the goalpost, and everybody's at Bible study. That's why he became like viral. But he seemed like he's more of like a positive type of person that wouldn't pick side like that.
That makes sense.
So I didn't hear that.
Okay.
About Jameis.
Well, I saw it like the head. I fell victim to the headline.
I could be wrong
because I didn't watch the video. I think they played the clip of him being like blue hair, blonde hair, blue eye white boy, and like that, and then like the headline was like, and
you could say that.
Yeah. Yeah,
sounds like out of context. It sounds bad.
Yeah,
but then he also said a Muslim.
Yeah, black Muslim. Yeah, that's interesting, man. I fell victim to it. I didn't watch the clip
in real time.
Just trying to get clips to put together. I'm like, oh, that's Moan's boy. Let me see. But what he said made sense.
Yeah.
But anyway, we're getting on to the homeless issue in California, the race going on there. I just want to give a little reminder to this one burn that Spencer Pratt got what's her name? Ramen last week. Last time we showed this.
First, I will go below the Harbor Freeway tomorrow with her, and we can find some of these people she's going to offer treatment for. She's going to get stabbed in the neck. These people do not want a bed. They want fentanyl or super meth. These ideas cost us over $400 million to house for 70, what did you say, 3,000 people for $400 million? This is an absolute failure for both of them.
So he's talking about the policies that she implemented that was supposed to, help homelessness. We've spent $400 million, only housed 3,000 people. They're talking about getting them help. Like that's going to stop them from wanting to be addicted to drugs. He said they're going to stab them in the neck. And then she had this response. I believe this was the response.
I mean, it's like, I don't think a kid's going to be safer because a tent is 500 feet away from a...
Oh, no, this was when he asked her about when they asked her about why she wouldn't sign off on the bill to move homeless encampments away from schools. Yeah. And this was her response to that.
I mean, it's like, I don't think a kid's going to be safer because a tent is 500 feet away from a school.
They booed her. Yep. She rolls her eyes, yes. So, because they asked her in that debate, why wouldn't you support that bill? And she did a whole bunch of spin, and basically that was her gist that, children are not made safer by the bill.
Yeah, they are. Yes, they are.
So what people did was, I don't know if you guys heard about this, but let's check out this news story.
These videos all over on social media, sparking debate over political protest and personal space. The videos now viewed hundreds of thousands of times online.
It's crazy.
Fake homeless encampments set up outside LA City Councilwoman and mayoral candidate Nithya Raman's home.
It's happening all over the city, and we brought it to her doorstep so she can see what other people are going through.
A man who claims he helped organize the stunt spoke exclusively with Fox 11 with his face covered.
All the political violence that's been going on is really important that people,
She lives in a $2 million home, in the hills, away from all of this stuff. He took a bunch of homeless people and put them on her block, right in front of her home. So she has to go past them every day.
Tents, trash, old tires, and a barbecue Monday morning, all outside Raman's home.
Basically doing a parody ad for her. If we were in charge of her campaign, this was the ad that we would make.
Yo, what's going on? What he describes as a broader, sarcastic effort across Raman's Council District 4 in support of Spencer Pratt. Do you know Spencer Pratt, or are you affiliated with the Spencer Pratt campaign?
Absolutely never met him. Big fan of his work.
Who is funding this?
So we have a group of donors from around the country. Check us out online at Safe Cities USA.
My support has been growing.
At a press conference Thursday, Raman discussed a new UC Berkeley poll showing her in second place in the mayor's race, but did not address the videos.
I looked out the window and I realized that there were people setting up what was, I think, a fake encampment, like a homeless encampment outside of my house.
Earlier this week, though, she spoke about them on the Adam Conover podcast.
I have two little kids.
Yeah.
They didn't see it, luckily, this morning. But, I feel badly that I'm even subjecting them to that at all. But it has definitely, this has gone far beyond.
She doesn't see it. She doesn't see it. That's how out of touch these people are. Yeah. I have two little kids, and you're supposed to feel bad for her. That's the point of this. There's people that live this every single day. Their kids have to go to school, walk past people shooting up fentanyl every single day, and you're acting like, 500 feet is not going to make them safer.
Yeah.
Wow.
Isn't that crazy?
They live in their own world.
Yes, kids.
I would say that's kind of true. It should be probably more.
Oh, yeah, definitely.
But that's something you work on, right?
There was this part of the clip, too, that when they kept asking her about it, that she continues.
This has gone far beyond what I expected the campaign to be about. I, again, thought it would be about bike lanes and management of the Department of Transportation.
That's what she thought she was running for mayor about. When you got people that lost their houses, the homeless problem is out of control,
Yeah.
I thought this would be about transportation, and what was the other thing she said?
Bike
lanes, yeah. That's what you thought you were running on? Bike lanes and transportation?
You don't know what's going on in your state? You don't know what's going on? You don't know the problems that's in your state?
I think that they just want power, and they just want to continue to move up the ladder. She's a councilwoman. Mm-hmm. She wants to be mayor now, and then the aspirations are to be probably Congress, Senate, something like that, and then, president.
But you're
one
a
day.
councilwoman. You should know the things that are going on.
She knows.
You know, or you should care about.
But if you can afford a $2 million home in California,
it's not. It's people don't care about that stuff. They care about the prestige of who they are.
Yep.
A lot of times, that's what they're.
Or they care about their identity. That's why the Democrats always focus on that. It's an Indian woman. She's a woman. She's brown.
Well, I'm saying her.
Oh, yeah.
Her personally. Like people who are getting into these places.
Indian woman with a name Raman. I've never.
It's
Raman.
So, like, I guess that's.
So, think about the. What's the point of you going into any of these, like Senate, council, school superintendent, school board, any of this stuff? It's to serve.
It's supposed to be to serve and to make a difference in the community and be of service to the community. Yes.
It's to serve. It's to look out for the best interest of
the people. Or represent their interests.
Represent their interests. In order to do that, you got to talk to people.
Mm-hmm.
You also have to have some kind of, like, that's why we're not just like a republic. We're a constitutional republic, or a democratic republic. Sorry, we're not just a democracy.
Yeah,
we're a constitutional democratic republic.
Yeah,
and that's different. You have representatives, and when you have representatives, they have to be knowledgeable, right? But it's also, you can use that in terms of like, well, what do people want? And let me try to show them what I can give them, right? And manipulate it. Excuse me. And that's what we see a lot. But after a while, what happens? It's funny because I'm like, we've been talking, it's like the border, like I keep talking about boundaries, you know what I mean? And the crazy part is, like, when you manipulate people, what do? You get them to let you in, right? But eventually they see you can only take advantage for so long until people start seeing, like, oh, wait, like a boyfriend, you don't really love me. You're just using me. You know what I mean? Anybody, you can see, you can't keep it up but for so long, right? You can't use people but for so long.
Right.
Till they find out, oh, you don't love me. You don't care about me. You're just using me. So, what?
I said, I can vouch to that.
Yeah. So I think this is the issue. You're gonna see people's intentions. The problem is, are they just gonna use something else? Like when people get caught, like think about narcissists. What do? Think about people who are looking for themselves and they've been propping themselves up. They're always going to put it back to you. They're always going to try to change the subject, or they're always going to try to, how could you even come at me at this time in this place? Like I'm doing, you know what I mean? Like they'll just make stuff up, anything to get it away from looking at them. Right. Right. I'm an Indian, whatever. I'm a African American, like whatever, to get away from the actual
issue at
hand.
Yeah.
There's been this trend going around. I don't know if you guys have seen it online, of people, and I think a lot of it's fake, but like men catching their wives cheating on having dating apps, or women.
All that stuff is fake to me. It's all staged.
I think it's all fake.
Yeah.
But
I saw the somebody broke down the couple. They reenact like different scenes, and it's the same two.
Yeah.
Same kids and everything.
I think some of them are real, but then people are just taking it because they see
this goes viral. I can do a version of it. Yeah.
But one of the things that you notice, especially from like the ones that are genuine, like when it's the man and the woman, every time the woman like gets mad that they're even bringing it up and tries to like twist it.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, and doesn't want to acknowledge the cheating. They want, oh, you're doing this to me now, and your video. You got it on camera?
Yeah.
So you're gonna show this to everybody? Like,
Yeah.
this is crazy. How you're a horrible person. Like, you know what I'm saying? That's what they do. That's what people do, but just in a different way.
Yeah. I mean, that tracks with the people that we know.
Right. But and that's that really selfish, don't want to look at, but you know that your intention from the beginning was off, right? Or it got off. Some people start out, I want to help people.
Yeah.
But when you realize, like, at first you think, I'm being loving, but then you realize you were just trying to fill a void for yourself. Like, you want to show that you're loving.
Yeah, you want to show the world that you care.
Right.
You want to be virtuous.
Right.
That's what virtue signaling is.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I want to help the world. I want to save the world.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah. I want to play one more clip before we'll go to your videos after this about this LA thing. This was Chelsea Handler, who is very, very annoying, talking about the race in California.
In this race. She's an urban planner. She's an immigrant. She's also a Harvard. I'm supporting Nithya Raman in this race. She's an urban planner. She's an immigrant. She's also a Harvard and MIT trained urban planner who founded a homelessness nonprofit. Spencer Pratt is a MAGA conspiracy theorist who tried to use crystals to save his marriage on television. Shall I go on?
I don't know if Chelsea Handler has CTE from hitting her head on the headboard too many times, but she really is not the sharpest tool in the shed. Chelsea Handler embodies everything that is wrong with modern feminism. If you don't want to support Spencer Pratt, that's fine. Do what you want to do. But don't tell me you're voting for this other chick because she's an immigrant, she's a mother, she started a nonprofit, and she went to Harvard and has a degree. I know plenty of idiots who went to Harvard that can't even spell the word mom backwards. Chelsea Handler's brand of liberal, elite, suicidal empathy is the reason Los Angeles and so many other cities have major problems. Like we saw with Kamala Harris in the last election, there are people who would rather vote for a woman of color simply to check a box and to feel good about themselves instead of voting for policies that are actually going to make their lives better. Chelsea Handler, she wants to vote for someone who wants to ban barbecues, defund the police, and put homeless meth head crack addicts outside of your kids' elementary school. But the thing about Chelsea Handler and all of her friends is this: it doesn't matter who is in power, she is insulated from the repercussions of their policies. I'll tell you what I mean. She lives in Bel Air in a big, fancy mansion. She gets to drive by homeless encampments in her Bentley on the way to film whatever show she's doing. Chelsea Handler's entire brand is about how she hates straight white men, she loves abortion, she loves drugs, and she loves alcohol. So I don't think I'm looking to her for any type of moral compass or what to do in life. And Chelsea Handler is such a bird brain, she's always attacking straight white men. The only reason she has money is because 20 years ago, she slept with a straight white man who happened to be the head of the network and he gave her a TV show. So you slept your way to the middle, good for you. All right, I love you guys.
Yeah. And I don't know, did you guys hear about the that Kevin Hart roast that she was a part of? And she's going on all these shows talking about how everybody's racist and blah, blah, blah. All of her jokes were like bad. She got bad reviews. And she made that joke about all these MAGA dudes that went to the Middle East to do that comedy festival, but they won't sign up to fight in Iran. And the funny part about that joke was that like all of the people that are known to be like Trump supporters, Shane Gillis, Tony Hinchcliffe, they turned that comedy festival down.
Yeah.
The ones who went there was Kevin Hart, you know what I mean? Like Dave Chappelle, Andrew Schultz, like the people that are like, you know, all her friends, the ones that she's rooting for, they're the ones that actually went there and took that money from them in the Middle East, which is hilarious.
Yeah, she came hard on what's his name?
Shane Gillis.
Shane Gillis and the
Tony Hinchcliffe.
Tony actually, he did his thing, but he said that his prompter went out.
Yeah, I saw that. Yeah, his prompter went out, and he had to just go off the cuff.
Off the cuff?
Yeah. Yeah. So that's the Hollywood elites trying to tell you who to vote for. She's voting for her because she's a woman.
Because she's
an immigrant. And, you know.
That didn't work.
Yeah.
It didn't work.
I like that what the one phrase the dude said, suicidal empathy. Because it's like that idea of like, I care so much that I'm willing to kill myself, basically. Or ruin my own life. Which is, you know, a backwards way of thinking. All right, let's start getting into these videos. You sent me some videos of guys that were telling stories of people that grew up in Indonesia around a community that had no idea about God or Jesus or anything, and the things that were happening in this, like, were they like tribal, or were they just like, they were like a very tribal community?
Tribal, remote.
Very remote.
In the mountains.
Yeah. And the things that they, like the spiritual stuff that they deal with because they didn't have God. Mm-hmm. And how that, let's get into this.
What connection do they have to the outside of the modern world? Like, are there ideas of, do they have any technology out there? Is it also very?
I mean, when we first moved in, they didn't. They all wore traditional clothing. So the dudes wore gourds and like a little bum flap, and the women wore grass skirts, and that was it. And there's a lot of benefit to the government starting to make more inroads into interior Papua. Because when we first moved in, the infant mortality rate was 80%. Wow. Like, women would have kids and they would die, usually between 1 and 2 from malaria, pneumonia. And so even just simple like Tylenol and antibiotics was able to, save tons of lives. Yeah. So there's definitely benefit. The harshness of their living condition was so poor.
The tribe was, we calculated probably around 1,500 people for the entire people group. So they've just been dwindling. And a lot of that was due to just their physical condition and how harsh life was. They were literally scraping an existence off the side of a mountain, but also is due to their worldview, and they were killing themselves off because of their fear of evil spirits and the intertribal conflict. It's amazing because they didn't have formal chiefs. They didn't live in large villages. The Wana were semi-nomadic, which is fascinating because not like hunter-gatherers. They would actually take huge sections of the mountain and garden. But they had not developed a way to create the ground fertile again for the secondary crop. And so once that crop had produced enough food and the ground was no longer fertile, they'd move on. And so they're semi-nomadic. And so their houses were very simple. They were very much wanderers, and nothing's permanent. They wouldn't build stone structures, nothing permanent. So they're always, moving. So, 5 years in this place, 10 years in this place, and we're moving on. And so they're semi-nomadic. So it was really interesting because they left a very light footprint and had very, very hard lives, but incredible people. Some of the most beautiful people, and their culture, their language, one of the most complicated languages we've ever encountered. Far superior than any like European language group. Their verbs can conjugate about 2,000 different ways.
Wow.
But wait, we were told that all the Western civilization does is come in and ruin these places and take from them and pillage them and give them nothing and rape the women and totally just take advantage. I mean, we were told it was Avatar, that these people were just living, connecting their hair to the trees and living as one with nature and the animals, and they could talk to the animals, and Westerners came in and just gave them, like, this is what we were taught.
Confirmation bias, bro. Yeah.
This is what they still say to this day. But you're
not
telling
Matt
me...
Walsh, though. He just did a thing on the Native Americans, what was taught.
Yeah.
But there was a lot of stuff that, that they just left out.
Of course.
History just,
glosses over to make it paint a certain picture. But but I'm just talking about the fact that, like, this dude mentions how they were losing 1 out of 2 babies due to just normal disease, like, you don't think that that's how it was back in the day?
Yeah. It said 80%?
Yeah.
80%.
Mortality rate. That's crazy. That's insane.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So
how was it? What? It's Indonesia, so it's like warmer climates.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, so malaria, pneumonia, all that. Yeah.
Beauty of the language is astounding. And,
did you learn it?
We did. Yeah, we grew up speaking it. Yeah.
Give us a little taste.
Yeah.
Tell us.
Speak some Wano.
Yeah. What'd you say?
So I said, hey, thanks for having us. We're stoked to be here.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
Like, if you learn the language, you get to know the people, you're probably going to start hearing more than stories about bugs. You're going to hear about everything weird and wild on the island.
That's right.
Totally.
Yeah. The Wano people, they were amazing because they lived so close with the natural order, and so much of God's order is orderly, and they were incredible naturalists in the sense that, every type of plant had a property that could be used, whether medicinally or for this purpose or this purpose. Every bird had a unique name and a purpose, and they would decorate their septums with bird beaks, and they had such an appreciation for the natural world that we take for granted because we're not in it very often.
Yeah.
And so it was amazing, but
also dark. Growing up, we got to see really just the harsh realities of life and what it means to be lost and apart from Christ. And so it was heavy.
What is their spiritual belief?
They're animists, and so they believe that everything around them is controlled by evil spirits, territorial spirits, higher spirits, and everyone is malicious. They're all evil, and so really their worldview is just dominated by fear. And it from a specific bird, every type of bird could be a bad omen. How it flew across the trail was interpreted differently. Every rainbow, we had these amazing rainbows in these virgin jungles, just spectacular, almost on the daily.
Yeah.
And they would see that and be like, man, this is a bad omen. They believed it was like the
staff of
their ancestors, and that meant someone's going to die soon. And so, like, everything that God created beautiful, they would interpret as, and this is a sign, this is an omen. And the oppression of the spirits was so strong. It was sad to see, heartbreaking, really. And it caused a lot of, they believed that their women could become witches. And so, the deceiver, Satan, from the beginning, he's been out to deceive and destroy mankind. And so growing up, we got to see that firsthand. The Rwanda were 1,500 people and really a dying off people. Because if any of their young men or women died kind of prematurely, got sick, and it seemed like not a supernatural cause, they would believe, man, one of our women, while she was sleeping, her spirit came out and was a witch wandering around, and it found one of us and killed us. So to preserve our people, like to save ourselves, like we need to find who this witch is. So divination was a common practice.
Yeah, and I remember even.
Wow. So did these guys? They grew up out there.
Yeah.
From like what age?
Some of them were born.
Okay.
Yeah, they taught I think the oldest of them was 5. But it was a bunch of brothers.
And how long did they live there for?
I think until their teens.
So their families were missionaries.
Yeah.
And they moved out there and lived with these people. Was the purpose to bring Christ to these people, or what? Okay.
But they came,
and they had to do it little by little.
They spent 5 years.
Yeah.
Just helping them, like
Just
bringing medicine.
Right.
Because I think they talk about it in here. The people knew that there were people who came to another tribe to give them medicine, so they wanted that.
Oh, got you.
So they let them in.
So that was the way to let them in.
Right, and that's just what they did for like 5 years.
Right.
Before they
to
even
gain their kind of trust and let that guard come down.
Yeah, and then through that time, he would talk about like, hey, they would ask like the dad like, why don't you beat your wife? Like stuff like that. You know what I mean? Like
why? I don't see that you're
how come?
Ass.
Listen,
how come?
Sir, you got 2 backhands and I've never seen you use them. What is that all about?
But we take for granted, like they don't. This stuff isn't natural. Right.
Yeah.
In
a fallen world, the normal morals and laws that we've set up, principles that we've set up as just like things that we take for granted. They don't live by
that we hold to, right? Again, these boundaries that we hold to and we don't cross.
I mean, what are you saying? Like everything is a bad omen. You're always like worried about
it's fear.
Spirits.
It's all fear.
Like, bro, that's a horrible way to live.
Yeah. But to the point where they're killing their own people.
Yeah.
Thinking, then who's the witch?
Yeah.
How did this person die?
Right.
So then they kill them. Right. That's paranoia.
Yeah.
Fear,
Yeah.
Looking at a beautiful rainbow and thinking it's an omen or something.
Yeah. I mean, who do you think put that thought in their heads?
Yeah, definitely.
You know what I mean? Like, that's straight to mind.
I mean, it gets worse.
Okay, we're gonna watch.
Going on the backyard and our neighbor, up on his knoll, divining leaves and looking over his shoulder and asking questions like, what are you doing? And they would take, a certain type of leaf, cook it in a pit with hot rocks. And once the steam had all settled and everything had been cooked, it was unraveled very carefully, very gingerly. And then they would gaze into the leaves and
each leaf was named
in advance with somebody in the community. And they would go through every leaf and see which leaf was different, was still raw, was uncooked.
And you guys,
that was reading the tea leaves.
Every single time. I mean, without exception. There's one leaf in there that'd be green.
Which is so strange.
Wild stuff.
Why aren't all leaves cooked? There's always one that would be raw, and they'd say, this is so-and-so. And then they would set a trap to kill her. And I mean, not far from our village. There's one time we had to go out to the coast for there's actually there's this little conference that our local mission team was having. And so we left for like a few days, and we came back and we found out that one of our, a dear friend, some of our neighbors, they'd actually divined and decided that 3 women were responsible for the deaths of these certain young people in the village. And they actually took it upon themselves to murder them. And so not far from our home, up in the jungle, they had basically set up an ambush, and they sent young people to warn them.
One of it was like our best friend. And he and his 4 brothers were orphaned very young. And so one of the women, who was like a widow, took him in, raised him, sweetest lady. We knew her, loved her. We knew our best friend and his brothers. I mean, we were best friends and did everything together. And he was the one that, was part of this conspiracy. He went and told her, hey, people are coming, they think you're a witch, they're gonna shoot you. You gotta come with me right now. And so he took her and the other 2 women and took them up in the jungle where there's an ambush waiting, and just like.
Were you guys ever like under suspicion for?
It's a great question.
Yeah.
There was.
I was just gonna ask that. I was literally just gonna ask, like, did they ever want to kill them? Because they're like, these are outsiders. Like, why wouldn't that be a bad omen?
Yeah,
that's crazy.
Over the years, people questioned, why we were there. We were welcomed in, and immediately before we could present any kind of truth, all we did was learn their language and culture and serve them through just displaying the love of Christ. And a lot of that came through just serving them through medicine. So caring for them, we set up a little clinic, and the first probably 3 hours of every day, my parents, that's all they do is medical for the village. And they saw their babies being saved. They saw we loved them. And a lot of our, our lives were a testimony to something different about us that was very attractive. The men would ask my dad, why don't you beat your wife? Like, we never see you beating her. Well, why? And why do your kids listen to you when you call them? Like they were like astounded by that. Like that was such a radical thing. And I gave my dad opportunities to share, like, well, I love my wife, she's my friend, like why would I beat her? Or like, my kids are my treasure, and they're my friends, and we're a family unit. And so all these things, the salt and light of Christ was very appealing to them. They're interested. But there were questions over the years. I know some people, they didn't have chiefs, but they did have, we call them big men, the big men of the village. And they were like, if a clan had like 4 brothers, they'd usually be like, they'd be considered big men, and they all had, they're polygamous, so they have multiple wives usually. If you're a big man, you'd have 2 wives, like duh. And lots of kids.
You'd be a big man.
And
You'd have the stature.
your thighs would have to be ripped.
I grew up in the wrong place, guys.
You could be a big man.
Arms,
And so you'd be a big man. And they had dreadlocks. So the bigger your dreads, the bigger the big man you were.
Wow. That could be more of a responsibility to try and take care of 2 women now.
I understand about that, but like,
wait a minute. I was told the dreadlocks were only allowed in Africa and that they don't exist in other cultures, and it's appropriation if you use them.
a big man, big lad is quite the allure.
Yeah. So from time to time, there's people who conspired against, and question why we're there. And the one were very boisterous. They wouldn't hide anything. So if they had a problem with you, you would know. And so there's always, sometimes fights would break out, or people would get mad about such and such a thing and come to my dad. But we were threatened from time to time. But it would always, like, once they cooled off, it was never an issue. So overall, we were loved and protected by them. Yeah.
How much do you think of their faith was relegated to principalities and powers versus just superstitions passed down?
That's a great question.
Yeah, everything they believed in their worldview was because they saw and interacted with it. So the territorial spirits all had names because they knew these spirits. A lot of the communication that go between kind of the principalities and them usually was like a shaman, a witch doctor. And so we had a couple in our area, and almost like nightly they would be like tormented by these spirits that would come and tell them things. And with that brought a lot of status in the village. Like we saw it firsthand. There's no telephones, so in a 3-day hike away in a village, if someone passes away, it's gonna take 3 days to bring the news. But the shaman, the witch doctors, they could get word of it like instantly, like that night.
Wow.
The spirit came and told me this person died.
Crazy.
And sure enough, 3 days later, a messenger brings news of it, and the village is like, whoa, like, dude, how did you know that? Like,
you get power,
so they saw things firsthand. They would have encounters with evil spirits in the jungle.
It was about close to 5 years before we started teaching anything.
So let me ask, I want to clarify because of our listeners too, because for me, so when you say that since the 70s, the one who were asking for missionaries, they just wanted medical, right? They're not asking for the gospel. They're asking for they want medical.
With the gospel,
two tribes away, there had been like a Western missionary back in the 70s, and they had seen kind of transformation brought the medical. And so that's deep down, that's what they were wanting or asking for, and they knew a Western missionary would bring that. All along, my parents explained like, hey, we have this really important message we want to bring you. That's why we're living here. That's why we're learning your language and culture. We'll bring you when we're ready.
Trust you for trust. So, like, hey, we're not just here to like white knight and save you and give you this Bible.
And a lot of when you're getting deep in the truths of God, and you're actually trying to push back against the kingdom of darkness and communicate again core truths of Christianity. It's like, you can't have the vocabulary of a 5-year-old. People are going to think you're an idiot, and they're never going to see that. Like, you have to be able to actually relate with them on a deep level. But beyond that, like what you're saying, you have to be able to earn the right to speak. And so years of serving them, living among them, watching them, us growing up with the kids, like we were like really adopted and beloved by the tribe. And so when it came time to first present truth from the gospel, they're interested. We had an audience. They're interested to hear what we had to say.
It's hard in the early days though, because really, when the gospel comes in, it changes a false worldview with the truth of God's word. Yeah. But before you do that, you don't have the grounds to make change. And so we're there literally as outsiders welcomed in, and we're here to observe and learn. And so one of the things that I want to do, again, it's all about self-preservation. If a child, firstborn dies, the second child, the mom would chop his pinky finger off.
Soon after.
Just chop it off right at the first knuckle and hang that up in the house. And this is an offering to the spirit of the deceased sibling. Don't come and take the life of your younger sibling. And so most all the Wana people, they're missing, fingers.
Lots of digits from the
sometimes
fingers
3 fingers.
Never their thumbs though, or always the thumb was allowed because you need that. But a lot of the other digits would be gone.
So in the early days, it was hard to.
The whole finger or just the tip?
No,
From
the
there,
first knuckle.
From the knuckle,
So they could still do work if they need to, and never the thumb, so they could still work. That's crazy.
So many people are walking around.
Yeah, and it's like but the mortality rate is so high already because of disease. They look at it as like, how do we stop this? We have to cut off the finger.
Yeah, but where'd they get that from?
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
The spirits that want blood, literally want blood. Yeah.
Yep.
That's crazy, man.
And it's crazy because now you're actually giving them more access into your lives.
Yeah, right.
So it's like this. It's this participation of
in the house.
Yeah, it's an altar participation of power.
Yeah.
Right. You think the people want more control over their lives. Want some kind of thriving.
Right.
But the problem is, like, and you get little hints of it, but then you don't, because they're actually little by little, their whole civilization is dwindling.
Right.
But you think, well, I need to do these things. So it's very interesting, man.
Wow.
Observe that. I mean, it's a beautiful little newborn baby. And a couple days after it's born, they're coming to the medical clinic because his finger's chopped off. And, your reaction is to speak into that. Like, this is terrible. So the parents are loving parents. They're doing this for the preservation of their child. And until you have God's word, a higher authority to speak into and say, now this is not right based on God's word. You don't have a voice, or else you're just the solo dude from the outside coming in and saying
you
it's wrong.
You say their whole worldview is false.
So it was hard in the early days because a lot of wife beating, witchcraft, manipulation to self, making sacrifices, mutilation.
I don't think a lot of people realize how the principalities work. It's a very legalistic structure depending on what principality you pick to serve. And I think the Prince of Peace that is such a defining term of what Christianity offers to people. Right. You lay down that burden of all this legalism. And I think that whether you get in the New Age and you go to Costa Rica and you start doing all, it's a bunch of rules. Right. You got to follow it specifically. And you got to you take all the burden of a God and you put it on yourself and you have to figure it all out like some complex language.
Yes.
And the gospel is such a freeing thing. I think people think, well, God, why would I serve God? Because they have a misunderstanding of how much freedom is presented and how,
that's right.
And
it's crazy. What's interesting is in the case of this, of pioneer missions, what you really see is the church. It's the story of the church militant, obeying and fulfilling the Great Commission. And when you see the arrival of Jesus on the scene and you read about, his ministry in the Gospels, you see that he came in power and Israel was full of demons. Sure. And a huge part of Jesus' ministry was, exercising these demons and casting them out. Yeah. And when confronted by the religious leaders and when charged with the case of, casting them out by the power of Satan, Jesus said, can a house stand on its own if it's divided? No. Right. He said, I'm not casting them out by the prince of demons, but if you see me casting them out by the Spirit of God, know that the kingdom has come. Right. And so when you get into the teachings of Paul and you see that, to be a believer is to be transferred from the domain of darkness into the kingdom of his son. Colossians 1, you realize that all this is a spiritual battle. And what's interesting is that when we moved back to America about 5 years ago, our lifestyle didn't change, but we saw such a lack of spiritual opposition, like the blurriness disappeared in a sense, like here in Nashville or in Florida where we live. And you go, what's different? Why don't we see more of that? And I think the reason is because when Jesus, I think he inaugurated the kingdom of God in his first coming, and when he ascended, before he ascended, he said, all power in heaven and earth has been given to me. And he transferred that to his disciples, said, go make disciples of all the earth, preach the gospel to all the nations. And so what you see is the church militant, it's actually taking back ground from Satan. Yeah. And in America, by God's grace, we've had truth for a long time, for hundreds of years. And so you see that while there's still evil, while there's still cults and all sorts of mess stuff happening here in Nashville, right? You see
I would caveat that a little bit, what he's saying, because I would say it just goes more underground and more intellectual because you can't come the same way. Right. So you're going to have to come a different way. Right. You're going to have to backdoor it, right? A different way. So once you realize, no pun intended. Once you realize
this guy. No, because that's what I was.
When it's Pride
you said
Month.
that right when I was thinking about the tactics. You know what I mean? And I'm thinking about Pride Month. I'm thinking about the perversion that
I'm thinking about
I know, but you said it right when that was.
I'm thinking about something else. I'm thinking about a house. I'm thinking about programs on a computer.
I know.
But anyway.
Well, the body is the house, and
okay. But yeah, you got to go. It's deeper. So although you might not see the spiritual things because again, you're not giving them that type of power, but you are. It's intellectual now because it's all about agreement. Mm-hmm. So it might not be a lie that way because you got medicine. Mm-hmm. So why would you? You don't need that because there's physical things that you can do, right? So your mind is that it's pointing to that. Okay, I can do.
We don't need to solve the problem of all of our babies dying,
right?
So that's not a way that you can be oppressed,
right? Yeah. But we got trans. There's no trans.
We're killing our babies.
We're literally because of the agreements we make, right? Yeah. But then you say. And it's funny because then they say, well, it's science, right? Yeah. They say it's science. So it's more about what you're looking at. It's funny because it becomes less spiritual and more just physical, right?
Right.
And more intellectual. That's what we deal with in America, I think. So, yeah, we're not dealing with that, but it's worse. In terms, I think what I'm saying is when you're more prosperous,
it's less
physically
in your face.
Yeah, it's gonna be more hidden. Yeah. So the tactics are gonna be even worse. Right. It's easy to see your enemy, right? But when you can't see your enemy, that's when it's hard.
Right.
So I for that I think that was a little off. You can't just say
what you're saying,
and I understand because where he came from,
the things they dealt with, they realized, they didn't have to deal with that here. But he's attributing that to, it's all better here. Yeah, but it's not. It's just it's actually more manipulative. It's more covert. It's harder to spot. Mm-hmm. It's easier to get fooled by here.
Yeah, right.
Growing up on the front line of that, it was intense because like Hasan said, the opposition was real and as a family, personally, in our own spiritual lives, like it was intense.
Part of some of my craziest memories are right before we were going to present the gospel. And so in order to speak truth in a context where people don't even understand who the God of the Bible is, you have to start with the beginning. Who is God? Who's creator God? How has he revealed himself? Well, we know from his word, that's how he revealed himself. You know, the creation of man, our relationship with God, how it's broken in the fall. You start with the beginning and you walk through the key redemptive stories throughout Scripture, leading up to the life of Christ, so people can understand the Bible, who God is and his redemptive story. And so as we started this process, and man, there's so much interest, the Watermill Gathering, there was such opposition. I mean, you can almost feel the tension in the air. And our family, man, like had never struggled with malaria in those first 4 years, just started getting just hammered with malaria. There's almost like 2 of us sick with malaria every single week. Wow. It was just like on repeat. And then you get better and you get hit with malaria again and again. It was so brutal. And I mean, there's neighbors who had observed, they saw like demons like coming, entering their house. Like they'd be up in the hill and be like, dude, we just yesterday, like we saw something go into your house, you know?
What were they saying?
And just
like a spirit or a creature or what?
No, like an evil spirit. They're like, we saw it go into your house. And we were, I mean, just being plagued with just dreams and all kinds of just like spiritual oppression. And the reliance we had to have on the Lord, like a prayer was so heavy. It was so real. And it was really interesting though, seeing the Lord preserve our family, allowing truth to go forth, and then validate his message. And so one of my coolest memories is I think we're working up to Moses, right, in the Exodus.
Yeah, I think we were right before Yahweh God descends on Mount Sinai.
So you guys are doing like Bible studies or
so we
6 days a week.
Yeah, it started at 5, and then they're like, we want to hear more. So we started meeting 6 days a week, and we were teaching foundationally. So leading up to this, in addition to language learning, once they got to a level of fluency, we started actually taking part of the scriptures and doing initial translation. So basically every key story that we wanted to communicate, we wanted to have God's word back it up. So we weren't saying this doesn't come from me. This truth came back to my answers. Like I'm not the one who's just bringing this to you. It's actually, there's a higher authority behind this. So we always want to have God's word present.
Do they have a written language or do you have to create
oral
that?
culture?
So you guys created your dad could create the written language?
Yeah. So we had to do that prior to teaching. Create an alphabet and then teach the tribe like literacy. You just got to read and write in their own language.
A fun fact.
Talk about an uphill battle. Like you not only have to assimilate and get the trust, you're like, we got to create a written language from an oral language.
These guys, I mean, are some of the strongest dudes. I mean, they just swing axes all day.
Yeah.
Their hands are so calloused they can hardly like feel. So you give them a pencil and they would just like snap it, you know, be like, so they had to learn how to like gingerly hold a pencil.
Like fine motor
and then you got to
skills.
teach them how to like write.
I love how often you guys say gingerly.
Well, that's right.
That's
But what's incredible is that they are equally gifted and intelligent as anyone, and they picked up literacy rapidly. Yeah. And for him, it's a massive pride issue because they're like, this is incredible. Now we actually preserving our language and writing, and we can pass down. They have a small library now, medical manuals of God's word, and it's like we're passing this on to our children.
So think about that. Like, think about just the technology of just being able to write and like they said, preserve your language, preserve the culture that you want to keep, right? And that's what happened with them. Like you see how it's not like they did away with everything.
Yeah.
They just did away with the stuff that they realized was harming them and causing, was causing them to have issues in their lives and their families' lives, and also it did so much for them as a people, just on a physical level. Like they didn't know how to read or write.
Yeah.
They didn't have a language that they had to write. Like
it's so funny when you see like the narrative that people will try to spin about like, the white man's religion, like, taking credit for the way this culture thrived. You took their, you stripped them of their natural way of living. It's like
you're giving people too much credit.
Yeah,
no, God did this stuff.
But to think about like in this day and age that there's still communities like that exist that don't even have a written language. Mm-hmm. Everything's passed down orally. And think about that. You have nothing really to refer to except what people tell you. And you know how that can be skewed and how that can evolve. So there's no like documentation to go like being able to write down things and refer to them in the future keeps things grounded in a way where like it can't just keep spiraling out of control like you see their culture is like. They're constantly trying to fix these problems, adding more and more problems to the equation. Yeah, that's crazy.
And the untold, thing about missions that secularists hate is that the truth is that from an anthropological perspective, missions, while there's been bad missions done over the centuries, missions by far and large has been the main preserver of cultures around the world because it's actually giving people access to not only truth and truth from scripture that actually frees them from self-harm, but also resources like their own languages, actually adopted into writing. There's so many people groups in the world that are vanishing rapidly today because they're all oral cultures and they're to be assimilated into larger national languages and all the beauty and the interest, like the intricacy of their culture is disappearing. But missions actually preserves that because it actually gives people, it actually honors their culture because we see at the end of the story in Revelation 7 that, there's going to be believers from all the different tribes, people's tongues, and they're all worshiping the Lamb. And it's like, God is a God of diversity, and He loves every people group, even a people group of 1,500. Like they're created by God. They have a unique language and culture, but He desires that they would know Him.
It gives them ownership too of their own culture, right? Because they're like, now we can, now we can save all of this. And
But to answer your question about like opposition, like initially there was so much curiosity to begin with as we started working through, and then we reached a point. Yeah, we're right where God's about to descend on Mount Sinai. Moses is there with the Israelites in the wilderness, and there had been some division. Witch doctors talking to dudes and like, man, is this truth? Is this not truth? And we had a whole bunch of the wanted warriors like take off into the jungle. They all went on like a big hunting trip. And we're like, man, like this is such a powerful story. Like God is sitting on Mount Sinai. He's making a covenant with his people. Such a key redemptive story. Like, man, we wish everyone was here. And it was super cool because the night right before we were going to teach that lesson, we were all sleeping. But the next morning, like we woke up and the whole village was just a buzz. Everyone was just chatting. Like, did you guys see what happened last night? And we went up to the teaching like tent where everyone gathers. And I mean, everyone was there. And we were like, whoa, like what happened last night? So it wasn't until after the lesson we taught, we started asking some questions. Like, you guys would not believe it. Like last night, we're all way down at the Yamo River, which is like the very bottom of the mountain on this hunting trip. And they were all just like camping out, and they all had their bows because it's right on the border of a different tribe, and they're always warring together. So anytime you go down there, there's like good hunting, but it's like it's like the border. So it's like you don't know who you're gonna run into. So they were totally decked out with like their paint and their bows, ready for any surprise. And they're hunkered around their fire, and it was late at night. And all of a sudden, overhead came this like crazy like meteor, like bright, shining, flaming rock that just like they said like it buzzed down over their heads. It was like so bright that every leaf in the jungle was like visible. And there's this crazy cloud of smoke following this thing, and like this rainbow wrapped around this meteor. And they had never seen anything like this. And they were so freaked out that they literally dropped their bows and their net bags, which that's like your sidearm. Like you never drop your weapon. And your net bag has like all of your manly items, your beetle net, like your little comb for fixing your hair. Like you don't just drop that. But they were so terrified they literally could not think straight and just ran up the mountain in the dark, all the way back. And it's interesting because they watch the stars every night. I mean, they know the things that happen in the heavens. They know things in creation, and they have stories about. I mean, they see shooting stars all the time. There's no light pollution out there. But it was such an event that like rocked them to the core that they instantly knew like this is a sign from the Creator. Like we don't know what it means, but this is absolutely terrifying, and like we have to hear the Creator's story. And so to them, like that was their interpretation. Like they saw this thing.
They thought the Creator is like validating His word, and He's trying to like shake us up.
Wow.
And the way they described that too is so alarming. Is that it was so low passing and so large, and like again, like the aura of light again just like illuminated everything and just lit up the sky. And there's no sound, but it was just like absolutely terrifying.
Like was it an angel from the Lord? That just like flew over them and rocked them, or was it actually a physical meteor? We're not sure. But the wanted warriors, I mean, these tough dudes that, I mean, they've all like killed people and they've seen war and like they're not afraid of anything. We're like so rocked, like knees buckling, that they came all the way back and sat through the lessons. We're like, the Lord just spoke to us. Like we have to hear this message. It's interesting. One of our good friends, who praise the Lord, became a believer. He used to be this like really staunch witch doctor. Just never had a sleepful night in his life. Just was always tormented by spirits. Came to know the Lord, totally transformed his life. But he was out hunting one evening, and he was way out by this river. Crossed the river, went up. By this time, this was a couple years back. He had a flashlight, and was coming back down to the words of the river. And like he saw a dude smoking a cigarette on a rock without a flashlight, just dark. And he was like, who's way out here at this time of night? Like, let me go over and say hi. And he said the way he described it was like a sense came upon him as he approached. And he was like, it's not human. He's like, I just knew. Like I can see a silhouette. He's crouching. He's smoking a cigarette because they all grow their own tobacco and they roll it in banana leaves.
Just ripping heaters in the jungle.
Yeah, and he was like, dude, like this was something unnatural. So he instantly like put an arrow, notched an arrow in his bow, pulled it back, was ready to shoot this thing, and he said it jumped up, eyes glowed. He's like, eyes just like lit up, and it started jumping up and down like chanting, and on this rock. And he's like, instantly the river like a flashlight came, like to distance me from the spirit. And he's like, I shot an arrow at it, like straight at it. He's like, just like nothing. And he was so scared.
So flashlight just hit, and all of a sudden the river just
like this territorial spirit. Who he's like, later I went to go and examine the rock, and he was like, living out there in the jungle, there's like places where people like sit, like rocks, wood, and you do that over time, it becomes like almost a greasy, like it becomes like a place where you sit, you can tell. And he was like, man, that thing must have sat there like every night for like years. Like it's a territorial spirit, like that's his sitting spot. Yeah, he's like, you can just tell by the rock. That's where he sits.
The one actually had they had a key term that encompassed all of evil spirits, a word that they would use. But within that, there's a hierarchy of spirits, and about 4 different ones, and they range from like a territorial spirit, like that everybody knew about, like and that in that cave or on that rock, there's that spirit. And we're gonna go around this area, or at the base of the river, we're gonna make a sacrifice, a little appeasement, so that we can trespass through. But then there'd also be like dead ancestors, and so they had a whole category, like we're talking like the shadow babies, like we're gonna chop off this infant's finger so that his shadow brother doesn't come to hurt him. So like they weren't superstitious by nature, like there's a evil spirit in every rock and every nook and cranny. It was like very an elaborate system. They understood that there's different categories of spirits, they did different things. They had names, they had personalities, they had physical distinctives, and they could it was interesting because for them, like Hasan said, everything was supernatural. Like the integration of the spiritual into the physical was very fluid. And so the way that spirits manifest themselves sometimes is in a figure of a man, and he's smoking. Like what's up with that? Like dude, spirit smoke.
The way he brought that up to me too.
Wasn't that Constantine?
It's freaky.
He smoked in that movie, wasn't? Remember that? Oh, maybe wrong.
I was out late at night hunting though, and I was out far. It was probably close to midnight, and I was on my way back home and walking through the village, turning on my flashlight, just didn't want to disturb anyone. And he saw me, and he ran up, and he's like, "Hey Hudson," he's like, "Can I borrow your trail cam?" I was like, "Dude, what'd you find?" He's like, "I have no clue." He's like, it's a little man, a demon man out in the jungle, and I know where he sits. Like, can we get a picture of him? Because he knew I was way into like mysteries and stuff, and I was like,
a little bit.
I don't know if I want to dabble with that kind of stuff. You know, you can go too far. But just super interesting. But some of their spirits, like there's one of their most famous is a woman, and she's like a spirit of the clouds, like a spirit of the mist, and she's pale white with red eyes, straight black hair, and her breasts are so long that she throws them over her shoulder to nurse her spirit baby on her back. Really freakish, like long fingers, like blue veins, like freakish. And it's super interesting because they've never seen a straight-haired person. You know, they've never seen a white person.
Tight,
they've never seen someone with red eyes before. Like some of the ways that they describe these evil spirits are beyond the realm of things that they know.
Beyond the natural, right? They don't have a grid for.
Well, what was super fascinating was in the early days of teaching the first time, and we talked about Satan and how he rebelled against God. He was cast out with a third of the angels that followed him, and we attributed the evil spirits that they worship to these demonic powers. And when they learned the story of Eve and being deceived by the serpent and the intention of the serpent, like you could just see the light bulbs turn on. They're like, Satan is always after to deceive and destroy people, and they would literally say like these are the stories of our ancestors. Like our worldview, like the spirits are always out to destroy us, and they just like saw the correlation.
What's been passed on to us has been to our own demise. Like, this is from Satan himself. Like, he hates.
That's what I was gonna ask, though. Like as you guys are like teaching and unwrapping the story of the Bible, are there mirrors in their creation stories? Mirrors in their they're like, oh, this is similar, but you have a twist in because this is obviously like under the dominion of.
There's certainly some things. And what's interesting about the Wano is that they border a tribe of Western Dani who actually had missionaries really since the 60s. And in the Western Dani were full on. Cannibals. Actually, the Wano were too. Actually, they were all cannibals until the 60s. The Wano were they're surrounded by beauty. They're surrounded by God's creation. They're surrounded by spirituality. They recognize that there were powers, and yet in all that, they would never find God. And so, it goes back to Romans 1 that talks about, all this was before people, and yet they rejected it, and they traded for a lie, and they decided to worship creation itself. And so, general revelation won't save any tribe. It won't save any unreached people group. It has to be paired with special revelation, which is his word. And so that was really what we were bringing. And when things started to shift, it really, it started back with a promise that God was going to send a deliverer. That was just incredible. I was so excited for them because they were like, they, felt the burden of the curse when we described, the fall of creation.
So they were anticipating you guys coming. Or no? So
oh no, more time once we got into the teaching.
I was talking teaching, yeah. So like Genesis 3, like the the first reference to Christ coming.
Okay.
The seed of the woman. That really excited them because they realized that even though this misery and suffering had been turned on the earth, and like they felt it again, like they worked literally digging their hands, like scratching, looking upside a mountain, parsing sweet potatoes, like carrying firewood, like they felt the curse of the earth and how it grown, and they hated Adam for it. But they also saw that God had this plan to redeem. And so as we got plowed through the Old Testament and really explained sin and what it was, how it was offense to God, how we all need a savior, how the penalty for sin is death, somebody has to die. They were primed to really understand the reality of Jesus and how he filled that. And that's why it's so dangerous to jump straight to like John 3:16 when you're working with a culture, a post-Christian or a Christian or a culture that's never encountered Christianity. It's like they're not primed to understand who God is, who Jesus is. And increasingly in America, people on the street, they're in that boat. So if you approach them, you talk about God send Jesus, you can't just expect that they understand what all those things mean. We're beyond Billy Graham, where you can have massive crusades and just reference those things, and everybody goes, oh yeah, I grew up in church, I know exactly what you're talking about. So the same thing with the Wano. As we started to get into the life of Christ, they were enamored with who he was, his power, and it recognized that he was God divine, yet a man, and he empathized with them in their suffering. And we got through the death, burial, and resurrection, and it was incredible because I remember some of the first conversations. There was a guy who had been helping to translate these portions of scripture as we were going along. And so he was kind of privy to the end of the story before a lot of the other people. And I remember hearing, Dad share stories about how, he got through that story, and he realized, he's like, wow, the Savior is Jesus, isn't it? And like, he's the sacrificial lamb that John talked about, and he died for me. And
we didn't give things away. We just always talked about coming delivered.
It was like year 7, year 6?
Year 5. We, 6 days a week for 3 months took us to get through up to the ascension of Christ, from creation to Christ. But to answer your question, the beauty of the gospel is that it can penetrate any culture, any people group, and it only changes the heart. It only changes the sinful aspect of the culture. So, whereas other worldviews, it imposes an outward change, a forum, legalism, and a lot of anthropologists see like missions work as like, oh, you guys are like a bunch of colonialists that you're taking in and you're posing your own culture. But really, we went in to live as closely with the Hawaiian people as we could. So like my dad had huge dreadlocks and a giant net hair. All of us have our septums pierced. We never wore shirts. We did face paint. We were almost one ourselves.
You guys put your nose ring back in ever? Or what?
Oh yeah. If you give me like a pencil, I could probably stick it through. But we tried to.
America, which is
sure. We're not.
It's not shocking.
You guys both married? Did you guys take one of wives or what?
What's crazy is like most, like especially legalist Christians, especially in this country, would be like, they participated in demonic activities and body mutilation. Like they're not real Christians. Like they would criticize that.
Yeah. But again, like it's not. People don't understand. Like they're not participating in that. They're separate, but dressing like somebody and sharing in how they you're making them more comfortable.
Right.
So it's not a big deal, right? That's not how we're defined by what we wear.
Especially if your intention and your heart is not to let them pull you into their life. It's to pull them out of it.
There's people who will do
Yeah.
They'll go to a culture and I want to be immersed.
I want to be
in the
immersed.
culture.
Yeah.
And you don't realize what you're
Right.
immersing yourself into.
Right.
Yeah, that's straight stupid.
Right.
But when you're going somewhere and saying, no, we want to, I mean, that's patience.
Yeah.
5 years
Right.
you're spending there, you know.
Yeah.
Your kids are growing up there. Like they
Learning
had
the
earrings.
language, yeah.
Learning the language. Like they speak the language.
Yeah.
That's dedication. That's patience. That's love.
That's a true heart to want to help people.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And that's why I wanted to show it because
Yeah.
it's like, first of all, there's still tribes out there that people are going to
Yeah.
and doing this.
Places where people need this. Yeah.
Mhm. But also what it actually takes.
Yeah.
You know, to.
Isn't this on the lines of what Jess was trying to do, like in India and all
Yeah,
that?
she would go, she spent some time in Ladakh, which is like northern Himalayan part of India. But she would do the same thing where whatever they call it. I don't know.
Sorry.
Sorry.
Yeah.
Sorry. But yeah, that's pretty much what she did.
Did she
teach English.
Did she do any of the piercings?
I don't know. I never asked her if she did that.
Yeah.
She got a nose ring.
Yeah.
A nose piercing, but I don't know if she did it in India. I might ask her that.
Yeah. But yeah, this is definitely a crazy story.
That takes some type of bravery, dude.
Yeah.
Like, and I tell her that too. Like, you go, there is a thing with culture too. Like, because they're looked at a certain way. Like the missionary, the people. Oh, they're trying to bring their God here because
Yeah.
it's like they're a Tibetan people. Also, there's Muslim and Hindu. I think. That's
Yeah. That area of India is, it's funny because that area of India, they're like the worst Muslims. I don't want to say that.
Dang.
What I'm saying is like, they're like the Dawa Muslims.
Okay.
Like,
that's where most of the Dawa
that's where a lot of
people
them come from. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. Like that northern India.
Or Pakistan.
Yeah.
That's interesting.
Pop said, didn't Paul said he's everything to everybody when he Rome, do us the Romans.
Do as the Romans, he meant?
Yeah.
He knows what he meant.
Yeah, when in Rome, do as the Romans. Messing with Pop's typos. Yeah.
That was a good story, man.
It was good, man.
It's man, people are brave. The patience, the bravery of just going in, and the love of like spreading the gospel.
They were killing people, so they could have killed them.
Yeah, they could have easily been killed.
Yeah.
And also like he was talking about like them warring with other tribes, like
that something like that just happened actually.
Really?
I think Colombia. In Colombia, there's people videoed the war between two tribes, and they had like sticks and stuff like that.
What?
Yeah.
Speaking of Colombia, did you see them just voting right wing? Well, he didn't get voted in all the way yet, but he's the front runner right now.
Yeah.
They're
talking
Trump,
about
Trump guy, and the leftists are pretty mad about it.
Yeah, they're calling him the Colombian Bukele.
Yes, yeah, because he's talking about cleaning up the streets, getting rid of drugs, getting rid of gangs.
Yeah.
Remember, Trump was talking about the president before that about he's got to answer for the drugs that he's sending into our country. Remember that guy was like, telling him, "Come get me." Remember?
Yeah. Yep.
Let me see. I'm trying to see if I can find this. Colombia. Let me see.
Yeah, but even I think there's this theme today about like respecting boundaries and borders. Like that goes for just because you have the truth doesn't mean you can do whatever you want, you know?
Yeah.
Speak the truth in love, Ephesians 4 says. So you have, and you got to be patient to speak the truth. If you're going into somebody else's house, if you're going into somebody else's domain, you can't do whatever you want.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You know, you can't speak to them however you want. You have to respect them. And that's what love does, right? Love people or treat people the way you want to be treated. So even what they're doing out there, we can do that here. You know, what type of people, and I think we're all called to reach different people that God puts in our vicinity that we're called to. It's not going to be easy, but how can you be patient with them every day, right?
Yeah.
Sometimes we want to be right versus loving somebody,
or
being merciful.
we want to correct everything that they say is wrong or that they're doing wrong because we are right. You know what I mean? It's like, no, that's not right. You know what I mean? Nope, you're wrong there. Let me tell you why you're wrong. It's like you.
That's
don't,
not the point.
Yeah, you don't get to the ultimate goal by just living in that pride. You know what I mean? This is the. Man, that's a lot of people.
Yeah, they're like two warring tribes.
This is like that Hawaiian show.
Yeah. Chief of War.
Chief of War, yes. So they're just all fighting with sticks and
yeah.
They don't even have bow and arrows or nothing.
I mean, you can't even see them.
That's hard to tell.
There might be other
people didn't want to get close to that. I heard they sent in the military to squash that. Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah, I just saw that.
To me that's crazy because you have a person filming it on their phone and you see the other guy has his cell phone pulled out and they're down there two different worlds.
Two different like generations and eras
and the fact that they're recording it and like it sounds like from what they're saying like they're kind of like joking a little bit about it, right? Well,
I heard the one lady saying help them.
Yeah, I couldn't understand too much of how they were talking. I was trying to listen, but
couldn't understand
they did
Colombian
say
Spanish.
Why I did. They said it. They said it in a like I heard that what you said, Jamie.
Yeah.
And then, but they said it in like
a joking way.
Yeah. So,
I mean, that's how a lot of people are. Serious things, they're joking, laughing about it.
That's we in the era of let me record everything.
Yep. Let me go viral.
That's why kids don't dance no more.
Yeah.
You know?
They're too afraid.
They don't want to dance out. They're not dancing salsa.
Yeah. No one wants to be caught on camera doing anything embarrassing. Yeah. All right, what else? Yeah, that's it, man. I mean, it was a funny clip of Joe Biden in the interview talking about she thought Joe Biden had a stroke during that debate that he did so bad. Did you see that?
No, I didn't.
They were interviewing her talking about like what was her reaction to Joe Biden's, debate or whatever. And she goes, I didn't know. Oh, I'll just play it real quick.
Know what happened. I mean, as I watched it, I thought, oh my God, he's having a stroke. And it scared me to death.
So she was worried he had a stroke, perhaps, worried he'd been drugged. I mean, get him to a doctor, right? What is your reporting about how those around him responded to these concerns at the time?
Well, a lot of Democrats, including several Biden aides that I've talked to since yesterday when this interview came out, just simply don't believe her. Because you have to remember going back to that night. Afterward, she then took Joe Biden to a rally where he spoke, where she led a chant of 4 more years. They then afterward went to a Waffle House. They then flew overnight to North Carolina, had like a mini rally when they landed. Then they had a big rally where she introduced Joe Biden the next day. And a lot of former Biden aides have told me, if you really believed he might be having a stroke, that's not necessarily the same behavior that you would do. There's no evidence that there was any significant medical exam afterward. There was never a cognitive test afterward, although in the Atlantic piece she says that she suggested that maybe he should do one, but was overruled. And a lot of Democrats think that this is simply unhelpful to come out at this moment and try to rewrite this portion of history.
It's interesting to hear.
It's unhelpful.
It's unhelpful.
That's all?
To our cause.
That's all?
You're not helping the party.
No, that sounds like some narcissist stuff.
Yeah.
You're literally just trying to simp and act like, oh, he was having a stroke.
Yeah, I didn't know what was going on.
This was crazy.
Well, because she's getting a lot of backlash for the fact that she was the closest to him and kept pushing him to do stuff. You know what I mean? People were blaming
I felt
her.
bad. Yeah, they were.
She should have got a lot of backlash for that. I mean, nobody. It just looked horrible. All the way around.
Remember, I was saying that? I was like, "Yo, I feel bad for this guy."
Yeah.
Why is he
especially
running
after the debate?
You done made all this money. If that's what you want, go live your life. The rest of your, whatever you have left.
Yeah.
Some people think he did, though. They thought he was a robot.
But then people were showing the juxtaposition of her after that debate. Because you remember that video we played on the podcast?
Never seen
Never.
that. No.
Which one?
What
about to
happened? I don't know what happened. I mean, as I watched it, I thought, oh my God, he's having a stroke. And it scared me to death.
Joe, you did such a great job. You answered every question.
Yeah. You answer every single.
And let me ask the crowd, what did Trump do?
Oh my
Bro, remember that cringy video?
And Joe was just like, looking all drugged
Yugged
up.
up. But she didn't know what happened. She thought
It's funny because her accent is like this.
Yeah, this area. Yep. What did Trump do?
Yeah.
Lie. Everyone, no one in the crowd knows what to say. They're like, "What? He won? I don't know."
Let's go, Johnny.
Yeah,
the trash is already out.
That is definitely a Miss Carol accent.
That's a good. She said, I never even heard of that. When she said it, she told me I was cracking up.
Yeah, I just think what's even crazier, like Simone brought that up, but yet he wasn't even there.
Yeah,
so the fact that the fact that he's correlating that, and he,
this is the
you
one.
get what I'm saying?
The craziest thing about that statement is like, yo, she kind of killed. She kind of killed us on that one. That was she actually kind of like got us real bad on that one. Was
wow.
Well, that was Junior.
That was Junior, but we were all out there.
Yeah.
So she was talking about all of us. You know what I mean? That was funny. But but the Democrats, they're showing that they don't really stand for anything. I don't know if you guys have been hearing about this Maine election too. This guy with the swastika or the Nazi tattoo, and now all these scandals came out about him texting his wife actually sent the campaign screenshots of him texting other women. So like even after they tried to make excuses for the Nazi tattoo, now there's these allegations of him texting other women and like all this crazy stuff, and they're still making excuses for him. Like I saw the women on The View, of course, talking about how there was racist messages that came out about him, talking about black people and saying, what did he say about black people? I can't remember. He said something about black people. So the Sonny, of course, she goes, he's a racist. He's a terrible human being. The tattoo story doesn't make sense. I don't believe him. But Trump is bad. So
are you kidding me?
Vote. Like she still like frames it as like, but Trump is so dangerous because they don't want to give up that seat to a Republican. So we still have to vote for this guy. You know what I mean?
Jeez.
Isn't that crazy?
That's crazy.
It's not.
I mean, it's just like that Jackson Dart meme, bro.
Yeah.
It's confirmation bias.
It's crazy.
Like, it just reminds me of when I be hearing these Dawa Muslims talk so stupid, and all these people in the comments, yeah, you're right. You know, they're all, and it's like, yo, he just got destroyed. He got exposed. And then you're still believing everything he's saying. Like,
they can't help it, bro.
When you hear it from your own family, it really gets on your nerves. You know?
I know, it would bother me.
Ugh, it's like,
you gotta deal with that.
You gotta deal with that.
Let me see if I can find a clip of the lady, just her on The View talking about this, because it's just hilarious how she breaks it down, but still has to tell her people. This is how you know they don't believe in nothing, because it's like they say that, you know, they care about racism, they care about all these things. This dude, Black Conservative, did a breakdown of it.
So then you got scandal after scandal after scandal. We've already talked about the latest scandals. We don't need to really go over it. We just need to get into the reactions here from the cackling hands on The View, because they're now calling this guy out, right? They're now having a conversation about whether or not Democrats should support this guy. So without further ado, let's go ahead and get into it.
You know, just in the last few months, we dealt with the Eric Swalwell scandal, which was horrible. And the the Republican who was having the affair with his daughter. That was horrible. There is no doubt that this guy, Plattner, is flawed in many ways. This is different than the Eric Swalwell thing so far, because no women have come forward that I know of or that have been reported. We haven't seen the sex like we did with Swalwell. But it is disturbing and it is horrible. And why can't we do better? Why can't we have better candidates? Why do we have to have Ken Paxton in Texas who has baggage that it's not even baggage, it's steamer trunk of ethical questions around him? It's just kind of sad.
What a lot of Democrats are arguing is that the path to Democrats taking back the Senate runs through Maine and winning the seat where he's the nominee. And what I would say as a Republican who sadly watched the quality of candidates we've chosen to put in office or to run diminish over the last decade, I'll tell you it's not worth it. It's not worth compromising your morals and values and integrity. To be honest, his sexting is the least of my concerns with this guy. Graham Plattner trashed a Purple Heart recipient, said he didn't deserve to live, defamed fallen Navy SEAL Chris Kyle, downplayed how hard it is to report sexual assault in the military, repeatedly used anti-gay slurs and homophobic posts as recently as 2021, called himself an avowed communist, and has a Nazi tattoo for 20 years that he's since covered up. This guy just seems like a guy of not very good character. And
that's wild. It's so wild. All of that, and we're still having a conversation, right, about whether or not Democrats should support this guy. Amazing. Absolutely amazing. Absolutely amazing. It's almost as if Democrats only care about power and control, right? That's it. That's all they give a damn about. Susan Collins, a Republican as a senator. So you can kind of see it, but it's liberal, right? It's also liberal as well.
Say the dumbest thing.
Again, it's a weird state.
I got one challenge for you. Try Whisper Flow once. One time. And I promise you'll understand why I...
Yeah, I am conflicted. Thank you. I am conflicted. They asked Cory Booker how he felt about this, because I think all the allegations are true. The sexting with other women while married is definitely true, because his wife is the person that gave the messages to his campaign to give them a heads up. So the fact now that he's saying that part is not true.
I think she said that she told
them.
Campaign,
but
we haven't seen messages.
But she disclosed it. Right, so why would she lie about that? So that part is true. He's also made racist remarks against African Americans. So he's a cheater. He's an anti-Semite, because the fact that he had that tattoo for 20 years and didn't know what it was is a lie. So he's a liar, a racist, an anti-Semite. He's a homophobe. So he's all the things, and character does matter. But we have someone that has almost unbridled power in the White House at this point. There are no checks and balances.
So you say that, you heard that. Same old, right? They went through a laundry list of labels for this guy.
But Trump, he still got to vote for him. All the things that we say we are against.
But that's why.
And because that's why. All of the things, the reasons why we hate Trump or put on Trump are the reasons why they hate Trump. This dude has been caught with evidence doing all those things.
Yep.
But we still got to vote for him because
he's
Trump.
A Nazi. Wait.
This guy, he's literally had a Nazi tattoo for 20 years. Wow. He hates black people. This guy, he's a woman.
He's a woman. Wait, like what are we talking about?
Yeah,
this is horrible, man.
Yeah,
But Trump. Unbelievable.
But Trump. What did he say about black people? Because that was he called all police bastards, saying black people don't tip.
Oh my God.
Hey, man. Hey.
Yo, that's hilarious, bro. But these are the things that when you say these are the standards that you live by, you got to die by them. And now all of a sudden they don't want to do it. Now all of a sudden it doesn't matter. Yeah. Wow.
But guys, we gotta have grace because it's about the greater good.
Yeah. Yep. All right, guys, let's wrap it up there. Appreciate everybody for tuning in this evening on our first show back in a while. Yeah, pretty good, man. Good stuff we got to. A lot going on. We're going to keep having these conversations, keep talking about stuff, keep getting with y'all. Don't forget, if you want to become a Patreon member and sign up and support what we do, the Patreon link is in the description. CashApp link is in there as well. And the link to the merch is in there. Other than that, we appreciate everybody. We love you guys. God bless. Peace.
Young lion, go live, yeah. Young lion, you rich, yeah. This kingdom has room, yeah.